might actually make a bit of what we're talking about right now either incomplete or wow, there we go. We're going back to Bank. Holy crap. Cafe, Bank, and Chalet. Nick, what are your thoughts on this one, mate?
Yeah, this one's very exciting. So obviously we got a bit of a rematch. When they played in our bracket, they played Chalet, Bank, Fortress. And it's one of those weird games where, you know, 7-5 victory in Chalet for EP, then a 7-0 over Chiefs on Bank. I do feel like if you're Enterprise right now, you're thinking that was a bit of a fluke. Brent also said it during the player interview about, again, half an hour ago, that they have never played as poorly as individuals as did on Bank, and that's why they got 7-0'd. So I like that EP are kind of ego challenging, saying, hey, we're actually the better team. We actually have the better players. We can run it back and get a different result that favors us in this grand final.
Well, they're definitely going to get a different result, Nick, because they get to start defense now. So you think back to that last time they played Bank, Chiefs were defense. They got that 6-0 start on defense. So now Enterprise will go defense, even though it's Chiefs map pick. So I wonder if it's them not only backing themselves in and saying, no, what you guys did was a fluke. We are that good, and we get to start defense. We're going to prove it to you. And I like that. I think that's just a team that clearly understands we're bloody good at this.
Yep.
We slipped up.
Yeah.
And it's not going to happen again, and we're going to allow you to take us back there, and we're going to prove you wrong. Cafe's the intriguing one. Looking at the statistics for it, it's an intriguing pick for Enterprise because they've only got a 3-3 record, but it's the kind of map they play internationally. So whenever you have that sort of map in your pool, yeah, you're not going to have the greatest record on it. So they lost to Shopify Rebellion, they lost to Oxygen, they lost to Space Station. These are teams, Nick, that are not, say, oceanic teams. So I think for Enterprise, clearly this is a map they know how to play it at a high level. Obviously for Chiefs 2-0, but against Arcade and Rival, very different teams, Rob.
This is such a huge grudge match. Do not get this twisted. Brendo said it before. They're gunning for championship. Chiefs are looking to solidify their own storyline as potentially overtaking their predecessors. They want to knock Enterprise completely off that perch and keep themselves as the absolute champions of O's. Let's get underway with this one. Jamesy boy, are you ready?
I'm ready, man. I'm so damn ready for a grand final here in OCE and a rematch of the biggest moment from Stage 1 so far, which was Chiefs booking their spot at EWC, taking down the kings of the region in Enterprise. Now we get to find out who will sit on that throne heading into Paris. Which of these two teams will seed straight into the group stage and which will have to battle it out through the play-ins. Guz, I'm very glad that you could make it, and it's fun to be casting with you again and for a grand final no less.
Yep, another one in the books. Excited to jump into this one. It's the Grim Ying band out alongside Azami Wamai. I imagine that probably means Wamai is close to, if not already surpassing double digits in terms of bans after only being buffed 48-72 hours ago. All teams seemingly here locally already jumping on that bandwagon. Yeah, keen for this matchup. I think Bank for me is the most tantalizing, of course. A 7-0 for Chiefs last time out.
Makes you feel like Enterprise really have to dig deep here on Cafe, their map pick. Of course, Enterprise haven't played Cafe all of Stage 1. The last time they played it was at the Salt Lake City Major, where they took down Twisted Minds on the main stage, by the way, in that major quarterfinal, eventually losing the series, but starting so strong on Cafe. EP look resurgent after a win earlier today against Rival. A little bit sketchy there for a brief moment from Jigsaw with the Boss G, but the second slug will land. And he takes down player who has been so fired up for Chiefs as of late.
Yeah, the Deimos and the Dokkaebi combo here can be quite potent for EP in gaining information, but equally info gathering available for the defense with both the Echo and the Solace in combination. Lunchbox though, while he's not below the side, in fact above it at the moment, and before peeling back will catch Jigsaw seemingly off guard. Certainly didn't expect that to take place. Here is the Deimos now on display, one of Bappen's favorite operators, and he's so proficient. Tucked away currently though is Relays, and he's timing this Deimos well. Fight elsewhere, but Chiefs retain advantage.
Yeah, wow, this is very back and forth. However, as you say, Chiefs have weathered the storm, and Jukena has managed to reposition his Yokais to try and prevent the execute into the site from being easy. Brendo takes down one of those yokais, but does inch closer to the bomb site. If he can take the 1v1 with Jakenna here, maybe there's a chance for EP, but never mind. Jakenna finds it. Bappen tries to go deep on relays, takes down his old teammate, and now it's a 1v2 on the Deimos for the man who has talked so much on Twitter. Let's see if he can let actions speak louder than words. No, he can't. Lunchbox shuts him down in the kitchen. And with that, Chiefs starting very solidly on Cafe.
Yeah, to be fair, it wouldn't have been the worst of calls to have backed Bappen in to give that a real shot, but unfortunately not really put in the greatest of positions to be able to pull that particular attempt off.
Well, last time these teams met in the upper bracket final, it actually wasn't Enterprise who were clutching. Not a single clutch from any EP players in the series, while we had 3 from Neptune, 1 from Jakenna and Lunchbox each. It's Chiefs who, as of late, have had more heroic moments than the star players of EP.
I'm actually a little surprised. I thought the rate would be higher for Bappen and his ability to clutch. Out of 20 attempts, he's converted 2. Now, in terms of a percentage, it puts him kind of middle of the road. It's not like he's...
Well, what's the standout play if you have clutch percentage stats in front of you? What's a very outstanding clutch percentage look like?
Well, Bappen sits at 10% in terms of a percentage. Oddly enough, Supremacist is actually top for percentage. Yeah, 1 out of 2.
Obviously.
But in terms of a player that had a large subset, Karma 3 out of 7, Eraser 6 out of 14. That probably stands out as being...
That's very good. It's a shame for Eraser that he had such a pitiful day today.
Yeah, he was being really good over the course of the rest of the stage, so unfortunate.
That's a thing. For a lot of these less experienced players, they can't perform when the stakes are very high, and of course for those rival players, stakes were higher than they've ever found before. Now that story does come into play a little bit here between Chiefs and EP, because while Chiefs have now qualified for EWC and they've shown that they can battle with EP, players like Neptune, Jakenna and Lunchbox have never actually played at an international event before. They lack that experience that EP have now gained for themselves by consecutive appearances at international events.
Yeah, I don't know how much I subscribe to the theory of Chiefs are better served finishing second in this matchup. I think you'd rather finish first.
Absolutely.
EP, though, I think have a little more pressure on them to finish first. They'll have a little more expectation when it comes to the long-term run at that event. And no doubt starting later will naturally, I think, give you an advantage, or at least it does for most teams, generally speaking. Jigsaw finds the opener in the second.
Relays. Never mind. It's actually Neptune who finds that opening kill. Job shutting down Cairo. Neptune has been such a standout for the Chiefs, a player who's been in the scene for such a long time here in OCE, but failed to really dig deep on a top team before. Until now, it was his first time qualifying for an international event. He is being watched from down below by Jigsaw, just waiting for Neptune to try and retreat. Jigsaw has snuck in very early, but I believe his position may be revealed. Neptune seems suspicious of it, and Tui's gone down. Nice nade. But Neptune doesn't overextend. He's just biding his time. It's up to EP to make the first move.
Yeah, it doesn't have immediate support. Neptune finds a window to drop. Does seemingly have a read on the White Stairs side of the map currently. EP now with full top control.
Yeah,
susceptible though to the triple nitro. Still triple nitro in play. 3 available here for Chiefs.
And info as well from Jakenna and Neptune with these info operators. I believe Chiefs are saving those nitro cells for the plant as much as possible. Oh, okay. I don't know what Brendo was caught with his pants down inside of pillars. Neptune finds 2. Jigsaw quick to trade. However, now he finds himself in a 1v3. And with the pulse alive and well down below the bomb site with a nitro cell in hand, well, not that that will matter in the end. Player pushes deep for a 3rd kill. Big moment for him. Chiefs 2 in a row, and Lunchbox is up.
I think I saw a message before from a chatter asking what's the over-under on Lunchbox today.
How many times Lunchbox will get over from his seat? What do you think if you had to guess?
Ultimately, I think the question you're asking is how many rounds gets played.
It'll be 1 per round, won't it?
In this best of 3, so...
I would love to ask Lunchbox why he stands up.
Could just... He might not even really, like, consciously know he's doing it. It's just a habit that's developed, and It could also be sort of like what tennis players do, where they have tendencies, and it's just like,
yeah,
they feel like it puts them in a good mind.
Yeah, the Rafa Nadal, where he has this really specific way of like adjusting his shorts and then like wiping his brow and
how many times they bounce the ball and like
yeah,
all kinds of crazy stuff. If it works, it works. But again, I'm still kind of afraid that he's going to make a live stage.
You can't do that after every single round.
Yeah.
You can't, because your headset will fall off every if you go to LAN, and every single time you finish a round, you stand up. It's does not. Yeah, it's not something that you can replicate all the time. I am very curious to see how Chiefs perform at an international event under that extra pressure, especially for Neptune Relays and Neptune, Jake, and Lunchbox. Do you feel like they'll be able to play to the best of their ability on the international stage? New play styles, let's say they're going up against a real unknown quantity, a team that they haven't necessarily studied as much, or a team that they haven't played before, a non-APAC team, for example.
It's difficult to predict that they will do well, and that's honestly really not just on Chiefs as individuals or as a team. A lot of that is based on what we've seen historically, which is that Oceanic teams, or even APL by extension, their first international event, sometimes two, maybe even their third, can be really quite challenging and difficult.
That's been the case for EP. I mean, even Six Invitational, they didn't win a single map.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time.
Wow, good Nitro Cell from Lunchbox. Brendo goes down. It's been a real tough slog on the attacking side here for EP. I like the active defenses we're seeing out of Chiefs. They're doing a lot of information denial with that Mozzie pick. They've got a lot of information gathering, and they've got some pretty damn hunkered down setups that Enterprise are going to have to clear. Just look at positions like this one right here from Lunchbox on the mirror. His phone rings and he falls back. That's fine. Where are his mirror windows?
I'm hearing them. Sounds like they're being taken out of play successfully by EP. Still one standing lounge side as Tuhan equalizes.
Nice.
He'll be eager to get to work on the vert with the Ram and the auto breaches. The gridlock available here for EP to establish flank watch.
Oh, bit of damage on the Jigsaw, thanks to the boogie from Ram, but there's no one I'd rather see on the entry here from EP than Jigsaw. He makes his way up, clears the top floor, and now Chiefs start to fall back. Nitro Cell, without information, doesn't find its target. Into the 4v4, EP having full top floor control, and plenty of verticality available.
Yeah, no Nitro Cells remain for the defense. That puts him in a tricky position, and not even a Razor Bloom for player to potentially lob towards a default. So that's likely to be the game plan here for EP.
Relays is actually tucked away just near the entrance to the bomb site. Tuhan finds him. That was a little bit too risky there from Relays. And now EP, 20 seconds to play, have the numbers to make the execute work. Player, his phone ringing, tries to rotate as the plant's going down from Cairo. Lunchbox able to deny. Are EP able to get back into position? No, they can't hunt him down. They can't look to reattempt the plant. The cover was not there. And now Bappin in a 1v3, dodging the thorn traps. He'll find one. Jekena to trade. And Chiefs make it another round on the board. EP so close, yet they could not cover that plant.
Yeah, the coverage up above, unfortunately. I think we just kind of captured it on the top right of screen. Was not set in a position to cover that directly, and well, it opened up the window of opportunity. The seas parted, and Chiefs were able to simply walk up and deny that diffuser from being successfully planted. Credit to Lunchbox. It's somebody had to step up and take the risk, and it was rewarded.
And now it's time for Mag to get in the ears of these EP players. This is Enterprise's map pick. They cannot afford to go down on their attacking side such a deficit. They've 0-3'd at the moment on their attack. Now it is a tough map to attack, but they should be able to conjure 2, hopefully 3 rounds if they can capitalize on this tactical timeout. Now we have seen the operator bans come through, Chiefs getting rid of the Solid Snake, which we only saw the one time from EP. And Enterprise getting rid of the Valkyrie, to me, that feels like a very powerful pick. However, also only picks that one time. The Echo, the Solus, the Pulse, and the Mozzie have also been very deadly for Chiefs. What has Mag said to the EP boys? Try and get them back on the board. We go into a kitchen attack now. A lot of map control required. Chiefs looking at Skopos pick.
Yeah, look, I think that's a great selection. If I had to guess what some of the key problems are for EP at the moment, it's really just fundamental checks and maybe clearing the airwaves a little bit with comms, because as we saw in that last round, a good example where Plant's going down and the coverage wasn't really as well set as it probably should have been in that position, and maybe just a bit of a follow-on from the rounds we've seen prior as well, where for the most part, Chiefs have very much had the number of their opponents. And look, say what you may about the bank result in the last best of 3. Of course, the expectation isn't for that to be replicated in any way, shape or form, but Chiefs are still pretty firm favourites on that second map. So it would be pretty astounding to enter the second with Chiefs 1-0 up in the series. So it's critical now that EP respond accordingly to that tactical timeout, which we have seen since the introduction of Mag has been a big boost and a big positive aspect for this roster. So I'm expecting them to get very close to that 2-round benchmark.
Anything's possible. So it looks like the Skopos inactive shell has been placed actually down in dishes in one of the default plant spots on the bomb site. I thought it might be Coffee just in the other corner of that bomb site. Relays himself is all the way on that top floor. Oh, the Rotero drone has actually just destroyed the Skopos very early in the round, which means Relay has no way to teleport back to the bomb site. He's expecting a rush from outside of Bakery, but there's no one there.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to change his process much now in this round. He can't be as ultra aggressive. Oh, talking of aggressive, Lunchbox jumps out, tries to contest bus window. Well, he was unsuccessful. Relays was able to net 1, and player doubles down. Yeah. Chiefs, again, in an advantageous position.
That was really well played. The fact that even though Lunchbox died, Relays doubled down, thinking Enterprise won't expect a second. And when Relays went aggressive, player did as well, pushing through the same Sens wall. That's why Chiefs are so in sync. Now players found Bappin as well. The rivalry continues, and EP are struggling to convert this tactical timeout.
Bit of chatter from player, who, especially if he goes on to win back-to-back series against his former team, I think has every right in the world to be lippy.
Bappin's awfully quiet right now in the server. And I don't just mean in terms of his kills. EP, it's Brendo and Jigsaw, two of the greatest players that this region has ever seen. But can they spring into form when it matters? 0-3 down. Neptune on the bomb site, one gas babe in pocket. He can buy a lot of time. EP are just hoping that they're going to be given a chance to get kills, that they're going to be given gunfights. It doesn't look like Chiefs are willing to oblige.
And they'll be going into potentially a double Razor Bloom late here from Jake Kenner, but Brendo does find a pick. 40 seconds now remain. Brendo probably not wanting to go for plant. Maybe if they can cut this cross, they could attempt and then bait these defenders in.
Ooh. Just sneaking on through, Jigsaw gets caught off guard by Jakenna, and player finds a third on the round. Bit of energy from the Chiefs as they start their cafe defense with 4 locked up.
A little bit concerning, EP failing to convert after that tuck timeout. Not that I think that round was really majorly lost by them. I'd say that was a big Chiefs win, their ability to aggress. And maybe in anticipation for EP having a set straight off the back of the tack, just looking to disrupt it. And
that's the scary part, though. EP, it feels like they very rarely lose the rounds immediately following their tactical timeout.
Exactly, yeah.
That is a bit of a scary one. Tac timeout burned, doesn't get them around, doesn't stop that momentum here from the Chiefs, which has now started to really run up massively. I mean, all of these players have been playing for such a long time. A lot of them have been grinding from the very, very start. I remember all the way back when Brendo was in Challenger League, fighting through Tier 2. You guys can fight through Tier 2 to get to where these players are today. Of course, our Challenger Circuit sign-ups are live. You should scan that QR code, register your team. We have so much going on at the moment for Grassroots and for Tier 2. And you never know where the start of your Siege Esports career will take you. For a lot of these players, it started just like you guys playing those Tier 2 leagues and competitions.
So round 5 we go. And if EP are to lock in, it needs to start right now. Difficult to envision that a 5-1 and certainly a 6-0 is going to be a salvageable position, whereas 4-2 would be far more manageable. It's a tricky prospect, though, to envision Chiefs slowing down because they are looking switched on and ready to go. The warm-up bonus for EP seemingly is not applying right now.
Not at all.
And that has been a very constant trend, not just domestically, but internationally as well. But for whatever reason today, it's not quite worked for EP.
Yeah, and if the warm-up from playing that lower bracket final earlier today isn't helping you here in the grand final, then I don't think that getting a warm-up at EWC by having to play through the play-ins will be an advantage either. EP went deeper in Salt Lake City than any APAC team has gone for a hell of a long time at a major, but they need to keep up that momentum for subsequent international events to actually earn their stripes on the world stage. Wow, bit of a spray. Player is exposed, but look at the confidence from him to just reposition and continue fighting in pillars. Chiefs have locked up again with this pulse, trying to go for a lot of early information, trying to disrupt the EP attack. But EP, guys, they've leaned on what a lot of teams lean on when they're struggling. It's that Montaigne from Tuhan.
Yeah, first appearance of a primary shield over the course of this half, and Relays is looking to disrupt. Great sandwich with Neptune, who does eventually fall, courtesy of Jigsaw, but still a massive win by taking the Monty out of play.
Oh, that is a worthwhile trade every day of the week. You lose your mute, but you kill that Montaigne. Great active defense here from Chiefs. They're looking to place spoils on EP. Jigsaw about to take the fight onto Relays, and he seems to always win those. A second kill for the round for him as EP take the numbers advantage.
40 seconds now on the board, and arguably the best opportunity, or maybe second best, for EP to finally get around.
Shot.
Play with good work, Pillar. Now up to 6-1. Jay Kenner still up with Nitro, and Lunchbox has proven to be a big threat this stage.
Now player is getting targeted by Bappin. Again, the rivalry continues. Lunchbox is the one that's exposed, however, and then targeted. Through that vert, Cairo finishes him off. EP have gotten themselves the closest they've been so far, but Jakenna is on the pulse down below, looking to try and deny the plant in the late rounds. Player has to try and buy as much time for him as he possibly can as the plant starts to go down from Cairo. Does he know where that plant is? Up goes the Nitro cell, but it gets shot out of midair by Bappin. And that might have just saved the round for Enterprise. Jakenna now looks for the retake, 1v3, but they are watching his position, and Bappin will shut him down. A moment of heroism from Bappin was required for EP to get themselves on the scoreboard.
Yeah, not the most comfortable of rounds for EP, but a round win is a round win, as the wise Jake Xenox Venditti loves to say. I don't know if shooting at the Nitro there ultimately made a huge difference. I'd love to see a replay, but I think it would have just been confirmed. But it may have been able to net a kill, maybe even two, if it had actually exploded.
100%. That Nitro cell definitely would have won the round had it detonated. I all but guarantee.
At least at minimum made a retake very, very possible as opposed to a 1v3. So
here it is. It was
very close. We're talking a couple ticks either way, I think, but credit to EP, would have heard and seen the shotgun shots, and it was pretty indicative that the Nitro was coming their way, so doing a good job to shoot it in time.
Not easy to do with that Vendetta pistol as well from Bappin. You only have 6 shots in that Vendetta. It's not an automatic weapon, makes it harder to shoot those C4s. EP have a first round on the board. As we go into the final round of the half, it feels like they need a second here. One round is not enough.
Difficult to disagree with that assessment. Chiefs have played well in this opening half. Enterprise, are they maybe just taking a little bit of time to reboot after that devastating first series against Rival? All eyes on this 6th round and the final of the half. The Monty back in play, and
nice.
Jigsaw has just made great work of that. Straight up red, and Relays got completely caught off guard.
The finger pick is a personal favorite of Jigsaw's. I wonder what the idea is. Is it so that he can push quicker through things like barbed wire? Is it for the tiny little boost to the HP? Or is it to help Tuhan ADS faster? He's playing Monty, not Blackbeard or Blitz, so typically I wouldn't expect it to be for the ADS.
He just wants to relive the good old days of the LMG meta.
I mean, he's pretty damn good with this LMG.
Yep.
It still does a lot of damage. The recoil's just not quite as good as it used to be. And you are a lot slower as well running those LMGs and have a slower aim down sights time as well. But here we go. I mean, Tuhan takes a little bit of damage. Immediately, the finger boost comes in, and it also cleanses the limping effect that is otherwise triggered by that Thorn Trap.
Yeah, now Tuhan can apply pressure, but Player again nets a big, impactful kill in the round now. Flashed out, potentially forced to drop, but will hold his ground. Actually, no, he did go pillar, but long angle's still in play, courtesy of the mirror.
It's fine for Chiefs to give up a little bit of ground here. They can always fall back to the ground floor, which is close to the bomb site. Oh, but here comes Bappin, big swing onto Neptune. Cairo as well wins his. Necessity now for Jakena, but he doesn't have enough shots to go for the second. And Cairo trades him on out. Bappin can be picked up as well, and now it's a 1v4 for Player.
Yeah, very tricky prospect. Bappin now back on his feet.
He's being targeted by Deimos. This is unwinnable.
And Player's in a lot of strife.
If Bappin had been finished off, maybe there was a world, a universe where Player can clutch this. But up against a Monty and a Deimos, with two other players who can focus up on planting, I don't think this is winnable at all. Cairo shuts him down. Great close to the half from Cairo. Big three from him on the gridlock. And with that, Enterprise have found a second round on the attacking half.
And a critical 2 rounds that will prove to be, there's no doubt about it. The Chiefs were off and running with that series, Nick. We thought that that was going to be a very quick 6-0, but honestly, credit where credit's due, they did their job.
Yeah, and obviously big praise to Tuhan here. We speak a lot about his individualism. He's, getting kills and getting map space. They lose 4 rounds in a row, and they pull the plug that is emergency. Get out the Monty, right? Getting that stable, consistent intel operator. In the very first round that they tried, in round number 5, he gets shot down by Chiefs. They make a mini play. They peek the pixel door in piano. They impact the soft on the freezer, and they 2 on the Monty. They get the kill. But they still clutched on the end, thankfully, there for EP. Then they run back one more time. Tuhan stays alive throughout the entirety of the round. It's a much more solid attack of that, and they get that 2-4 split that they so desperately needed.
Jakey, bit interesting.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think, boy, did EP need those last 2 rounds.
Yeah, so
I think anything that was going to be 5-1, 6-0,
yep, call it.
And from there going into bank, it would have been very intriguing. But the 2 attacking rounds switch over to their defense, and suddenly I think there's that sign of life now for Enterprise. I think they've just awoken a little bit, which is surprising because I would have figured, Nick, EP actually looked like the team that didn't play the last series. Chiefs looked like the team that played the last series, and they're warmed up. So I wasn't maybe expecting the start, but I guess maybe the fact that Chiefs started on the defense probably had something to do with it. But ultimately for Enterprise, Jigsaw 7 kills, Bappin the 4, maybe expected a bit more. And the fatigue or the warm-up factor is something that I spoke about actually from the previous series when we were talking about Enterprise versus Rival, having to play back-to-back best-of-3s. And what we've seen historically, Nick, is the team that does play the back-to-back ends up doing pretty good.
But you have people that wake up and they get their morning coffee and they slowly they get better and better, and eventually they're at 100%. Then you have people who wake up, grind set enabled, the hunger to seize the day, to seize the moment. That's Chiefs right now. Mind you, they are still having that underdog story. They came into this grand final from upper bracket, already beating EP before. That was the first step of their journey. Now, they want the whole damn stage to themselves to say, we are the kings of O's. And I think that hunger is driving them into those first few rounds.
Look, I think that now that they go defense, probably a little bit settled. 4-2 on the scoreboard looks a lot nicer. Mirror and Wamai ban, so they won't have access to that. I do like the Monty ban. And also, even the Nomad too, the removal there, no air jabs, maybe gives a bit of freedom for the defense. I wouldn't be surprised if we see quite a bit of gridlock in this first half as well from Chiefs. I know we saw quite a bit of it from Enterprise, so expect them to maybe play it as well. 4-2 lead, obviously, you know, when you kind of look at for Chiefs, player again having another really good series at 7-3. Jay Kenner, a big game from him, but they do still have one room for improvement, Rob. It's relays. 2-4 quiet. Feel like he got beaten up by Jigsaw a couple of times in that first half. Let's see if he can activate now on the attack for Chiefs.
Well, I mean, this is a great opportunity for them. A 4-2 first half, and it very easily could have been a 5-1, even a 6-0 for Chiefs. They could be absolutely running away with this series right now, but Enterprise do what they do best, and they keep it close, they keep it competitive. Let's get underway with the second half.
Yeah, thank you very much, gents. It feels a little bit like what Jake and I were discussing the other day. In a best of 3, sometimes it can be a tale of the tortoise and the hare. And I can't help but feel that in this first map, Chiefs have been that hare, and EP have just done enough to crawl themselves into a pretty decent and comfortable position now. Defensively on Cafe, this should be their forte, and they now have the advantage of a little bit of a buffer.
Yeah, EP have looked really mad good on defense today, guys. Against Rival, across Border and Clubhouse, EP only lost a single round of defense compared to the 6 that they won.
Ouch.
So now that EP have weathered the storm, found their 2 rounds, got into the second half, they might be able to make a comeback here. It is their map pick after all, and we know what happened last time these teams met on Bank with Chiefs winning 7-0. It just seems to mount more and more pressure on EP to come back, like we know they can.
Deploying heartbeat sensor.
Ooh. Oh, hello.
Where did that come from?
Great question, but where did the round go? Is probably a better question. It's Lunchbox in a 1v5, only a minute and 10 seconds into the round. Bappen's having a laugh. And, I mean, surely Lunchbox is going to die shortly as well. Taking damage from every which way possible, up in close range, and Jigsaw confirms a flawless start for EP on their defensive half.
Well, it was an ambitious attempt there from Chiefs with the direct route sight on the rappel with the diffuser. And sometimes with high risk comes little reward. Attacking in Siege, it can be completely brutal if that particular strategy falls apart, it seems early, and that's, well, exactly what happened. Great denial there from EP, clean up the rest of the attack, and maybe there will be smooth sailing ahead for them in this half.
Especially a round like that gives them a lot of confidence. They're probably thinking, look, guys, we might have screwed up at the start of our attacks, but we're on defense now. We've only trailed by 1 round after that first defense win. I mean, 1 more, and we're even with Chiefs. I think they'll have a lot of confidence to finish off Cafe. Now, Chiefs, though, we've seen a lot of very well thought out executes from them in the past. It's something that I think has really lended itself to their success, is their ability to focus up on a plant-focused win condition, brute force in there with util. That said, the Nomad is banned. The Monty is banned. Both of those operators protect you. The Nomad protects you from re-aggression. The Monty protects you from, well, everything as you get information. So Chiefs are not going to have as many safe ways. EP are trying to rattle them as much as possible so they're not walking on solid ground. I think it's the right move to go up against a Chiefs that likes to come in with a step 1, 2, 3, have a pre-planned execute, force Chiefs to think on their feet a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that's a good read. Try and unsettle this Chiefs attack, unnerve them in the second half. Very difficult after previous round to assess the situation, as it was direct from Chiefs and immediately denied on a more classic map sweep. We'll probably see the effect of that. in particularly how aggressive EP wish to play off-site and how long they want to hold these positions.
How? Just peeking the hatch. That is ballsy from Jigsaw, and Lunchbox, his utility is going to go begging. That gridlock is very powerful these days, especially with that Nomad band.
And assuming Jigsaw saw that it was the gridlock dismissed, he'll relay that to the rest of the team and they can go hunting around the map as they please.
I feel like we need to see Chiefs bait out some runouts here, but no, instead, player just repels and doesn't realize he himself is the bait.
No Nomad.
No Nomad. No one watching the flanks here. EP are running rings around them. Now Bappin's found one onto Jakenna. The information was not good enough. As he just tried to sprint on through, Bappin can solo hold this position with the Azami. Chiefs look completely lost at the swap of the sides.
Has not been a convincing start for Chiefs.
Tuhan's giving all the information for his teammate as well down below the cardiac sensor.
They have a live read on Neptune's position. Might even be a good opportunity to sit on the roof here as is customary on Cafe and have a think over things for the next 60 seconds.
That lead from Chiefs 4 in a row has evaporated. It's about to be 4-4 and Bappin's decided to get lippy in the chat again.
I do wonder here, does Nate take the attack now and extend this discussion, or will he wait until the next round with the operator band to extend that chat?
Good question. I mean, on the one hand, obviously Chiefs are now taking an unofficial tactical timeout by just allowing Neptune to stand on the roof and have a chat about this.
Well, we're getting a Lunchbox mid-round stand-up. That might be a new one.
So the thing is here for EP, right? Reading is locked. Mining Fireplace is going to be locked. Next round, they have to either go top floor or down onto kitchen. Chiefs don't know which one it's going to be yet.
I've released the boogie.
Yeah, it'll be intriguing.
Is it going to be a tuck timeout now, or are they going to wait one round? I feel like you wait one more round. But the problem is, if you lose this next round, it's 5-4 down. I feel like that might be too late to come back. Doesn't look like the tactical timeout's going to come through. They're going to commit to this round. One more round before the bans come through. Honestly, if I'm Chiefs, I'm thinking a pulse ban, but that they wouldn't be aware that the pulse has been as impactful as it has been.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many
Like Pulse, Solus. Funnily enough, EP brought the exact same defenders 2 rounds in a row and are not that different this round. They've still got the Azami, they've still got the Thorn and the Solus. The only thing that's changed for this round is instead of Malusi and Pulse, we've got the Oryx and the Azami. They've also gone top floor, guys. I almost called you Penguin. They've gone top floor instead of kitchen, which a lot of teams seem to prefer these days.
That would have been the highest of compliments, both in appearance and ability to play the game.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, the castle's an intriguing introduction, not atypical for the top floor, and it may prompt a bit of a switch around here in terms of the op selection from Chiefs, and it seems to have been the case. Look how many frag grenades will be available for the attack this round. That's going to be critical in dealing with a large portion of that, plus the Kiba barriers as well. They can be a little bit
finicky
iffy,
with Castle. I'd honestly consider running the Zafir.
Yeah, Zafir feels like a
because you get 3 explosives plus the 3 concussions are really good for getting information that you can't get with drones.
Very fair point. Makes me question the striker in this round. Maybe the addition of the claymores for the cocktail side jump out, which is fair enough. When you don't have the Nomad, having that backup option is a nice safety net.
I think the Sledge has been a good read here, though, for taking down those castle barricades on the external. However, there's still a lot of fortified positions here from EP, and the Azami is a big part of that here from Bappin. Oh, Jigsaw is all the way down below, ready for an impact jump out. He goes for it, and he spots 2 players, goes for one, tries to get the second one. The Lion locks him in place. Is he going to run out again? I feel like he might. He's so tempted to do so. He almost gets an angle onto relays as well. He's so tempted to continue running out.
one of the more frustrating runouts in the game to die to, I feel, especially mid-round when you feel like you're starting to lay a utility and make a play and bang, you just dead.
You can't fight it, but player does punish him. Jigsaw just waits a little bit too long downstairs.
Maybe a little bit of gluttony in that round for Jigsaw.
That's Jigsaw for you, though. I can't blame him. He's had a feast so far, 14 kills. The player is hot on his heels, about to break double digits. He does not want to let Enterprise overtake them 5 in a row.
Well, I expect Bappin will make a final stand here. Over towards Cigar Lounge, won't want to forfeit this ground for free. Fight taken, need to dislodge, forced forward.
Oh, good job.
Gets caught.
Well played from Relays. The team together, linked up with the fire, the grenades, and then the well-timed peaks. EP now just relying on Brendo and Tuhan as they fall back on their defense. A mid-round reinforcement as well from Tuhan, but he's feeling the pressure from down below. Nice shot, lashing out is Brendo. Taking a lot of damage though from standing in the flames. Now Chiefs have to figure out how do they recompose. Tuhan has just punished Jekena. Player has to have a big impact here. As Brendo looks to hunt down Lunchbox, who gets the better of him, and Player pushes deep onto Tuhan as well. Chiefs finally stop the game from running away from them. They find a 5th.
Massive pick there onto Brendo from Shop. A 50-50 fight, which if it goes the other way, could have opened up a 1v1 opportunity and a good chance for EP to extend that streak of rounds to 5, but it gets halted at 4. So Chiefs win the first 4, EP respond with the next 4. Seems like it's a pretty aggressive seesaw at the moment, as we have the additional ban phase play out Solace, as opposed to maybe that Pulse and Gridlock, interestingly, from EP. So the double commit with the Nomad and the Gridlock, that may prompt more striker play from Chiefs, sensing they need Claymores, and just in general, they're going to be a little more fearful of these runouts and these mid-round aggressors that EP look to try and inject into their playstyle.
I do feel like this is a case of diminishing returns. This is something that Pengu always says. Let's say you ban Thermite and Ace and Hibana. All of your bans are going towards Hard Breach. Let's say you ban Monty, Blackbeard, and Blitz. All your bans going towards shields. Here, EP ban the Monty, and then 2 operators that are about flanking. If their flanks aren't successful, then that's a huge waste. Right? There are so many other tools they could have been getting rid of here. And the other power operator here that I'm going to be worried about if I'm on the Chiefs side, aside from the Solus, which they have banned out, is going to be the Azami, which Bappin has jumped on again. Of course, there's also the Pulse, which I think is very impactful. But that Azami, it really comes down to Chiefs making sure they have enough nades and util and coordination to clear it. Because some of these rounds, yes, have been won by Jigsaw on the Solus. Some of them have been won by Bappin on the Azami. And as we go down to Reading and Fireplace once again here for EP, this was the bomb site, if you remember, that Chiefs essentially threw at the start of the round, going for a rush that didn't work out.
Where's that Nitro Cell? Jigsaw, show me Jigsaw. He's got on the last 4 opening kills.
Oh, he's prepped for a pre-rip.
The moment that hatch opens, he'll throw that forward, but an opportunity not presenting from Chiefs.
Oh, perfect!
There we go!
That's so clever from Jigsaw. He waits for the sound cue of the sledge opening up one of the hatches, and then he puts the C4 not to go through the hatch, but to go on the other hatch. Genius. Free kill on a Relays.
5 in a row. Opening kills. What a metric.
Ban out that Solus. All you're doing is giving him a C4. Jigsaw's had 3 3Ks this game as well, by the way. Guys on 15 kills.
How many kills did he get again in Series 1 of the day? Admittedly, a short series, but...
Against Rival, Jigsaw had 18 kills.
Oh my.
So he's had almost as many kills in this one map against Chiefs as he did in 2 maps against Rival. Finally traded on back. Cairo also, I don't know how he died, but apparently it was to luck. And with that, a little bit of aggression there from Jigsaw falling into the Claymore. It means that Chiefs are now in the numbers advantage.
Another good example of the striker and those Claymores having impact in the round is Jekena. Is he under threat now above both Brendo and Bappin looming on the top floor?
Traded back. Critical moment now. Bappin will fall Tuhan now left with it all to do. Downstairs, no C4 with the Reaper in hand. Chiefs look to try and claim map point on EP's map pick, unless if Tuhan can be a miracle worker.
No Nitro might be able to get a little bit of info, but into the Blackbeard, 1v3.
No gridlock off. No Nomad means that the drone is the only thing on flank watch, and now he sees that Blackbeard. Chiefs have to play this perfectly, and now Jackenna is affected by the Thorn. There is a world, a universe where Tuhan wins this, and it starts with a moment like that, taking down the top fragger from the Chiefs. Lunchbox and Jackenna have to play this well. Shotgun in close range. Jackenna has to be so careful. Where does Lunchbox go? He looks to rotate down the stairs. No nades on either player, but Jackenna takes the gamble, takes the gunfight, and takes map point here for the Chiefs.
Chiefs able to lock back in. Credit to them. It felt like that EP wave of rounds was going to be very challenging to stop, and it certainly wasn't easy, but now that they've been able to achieve it, it's impressive, and that is off the back of 5 opening kills straight for EP, but the last 2, a failure to convert. Some of that mid-round aggression, even with the Nomad and the Gridlock banned out, probably hasn't netted as much success that EP have been looking for. And if anything, I think Chiefs have done a really good job in anticipating it, which is obviously pretty easy when you see the bans, but they're actually being able to convert that into meaningful moments.
This is one of the reasons why people say best of threes are a truer test of who's a better team than a best of one. In a best of one or even ranked, right? The reason why aggression works so well in ranked and jumping out of windows is because people aren't expecting it in the first round. Maybe the second round, they're still not expecting it. After you know, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Chiefs have read into the playstyle from EP. EP are peeking everything, flying out windows, looking for aggression. And they've not just banned the Nomad, they've also banned the Gridlock. They have given Chiefs 1,000 reasons to expect aggression. And guess what? Chiefs are starting to shut it down. It's on EP now to adapt. You can't just continue playing aggressive. If Chiefs are putting a Claymore underneath every window, you're probably going to have to stop jumping out of them.
We've also seen very similar lineups from EP. They've exchanged out the Solace for the Mozzie, generally speaking, the overwhelming majority of rounds. Other than that, it's been the Pulse, the Malusi, the Thorn, the Bappin on the Azami. It has been super consistent, and I wonder as well, is that aiding Chiefs in just having a better read, knowing what to expect, a little more comfortability, a little more familiarity? Sure, Cafe isn't the map where you have to, you know, change things up massively as the defense, don't get me wrong, but maybe that's another factor that Chiefs are thriving in this environment as a result.
Wow, that was a very interesting choice there from Kari. He thought he could stick in his position and tank the nade. In the end, he was shot from the rappel angle from player. EP, one man down to kick off map point, I should say, on their own map pick. I cannot emphasize this enough.
And the last time they played Bank, they lost 0-7
against Chiefs.
What the heck?
This is a real scary moment for EP.
This is a huge opportunity for Chiefs. Consider as well the 6 invitational implications. They will get an extra 120 points as opposed to finishing second, and that can have massive implications at the end of the year as well.
C4 misses from Jigsaw. And the desperation starts to set in here for EP. They feel the need to get aggressive now. 2 players in deficit with over a minute on the clock. But Jackenna doesn't want to overextend. He needs to check his corners.
Is that a half clear?
I think that was a half clear. It gives a gap here to Brendo to push deep and finish off the Blackbeard. He's now low on HP and they know where he is. He has to retreat, but Jigsaw's found one too. With that, Enterprise have a lifeline.
Yeah, Bappin was being deathmarked, but relays it to Jigsaw, who nets the kill, and a 3 versus 3, 50 seconds on the clock for Chiefs, now trailing.
This is how you fumble a 5v3, Chiefs. Do not let it slip between your fingers. Do not let EP back into this game. Relays and Lunchbox now look to try and finish what their team started. With Brendo and Jigsaw both low on HP, Brendo goes down, but Jigsaw finds kill number 18. Relays must 1 versus 2 clutch, and they know exactly where he is, but Jigsaw will go down. It's Relays versus his old teammate of Bappin. 20 seconds to play. Diffuser recollected. And another Banshee shot out. Time to plant this defuse. Bappin has 2 impacts and 2 Keepers in pocket. Does he use them? He bides his time, allows the plant to go down, looks to take the gunfight, but Bappin up against Relays, makes a statement, makes his presence known, and keeps EP in the game.
Huge moment from Bappin. Doesn't worry about the utility, just backs himself in with gun up, wins the duel, and EP stay alive for at least a little while longer. All 12 rounds of regulation needed. EP now looking to go across to Reading and Fireplace up next. Chiefs still seemingly with a pretty good read as to the overall play from EP.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
This is turning out now to be a bit of an oddity in terms of the lack of opening kill conversion. Chiefs successful in that last round with player onto Cairo, who got caught. Great nade and flush out. And a 3 versus 5, but it was a half clear from Jay Kenner. Didn't quite look towards the trolley. Brendo saw that then as an opportunity to get his team back into the round. We saw Jigsaw support Bappin, who was death marked on top. And ultimately, it was Bappin to then go on and clutch up the round.
10 seconds to
And
go.
now it only takes 1 more to send us to OT here, Guz. Remember the last time these teams met in a best of 3, it came down to the final map, 8-7 on Fortress. Chiefs only just barely won the series and claimed their spot at EWC as a result. EP hungry for revenge. And look at this Denari they've brought. You talk about how they haven't changed many operators. Well, for what feels like the first time, they've got the Mute and they've got the Denari, and they're doing some Mission Impossible type stuff here.
I saw this with Nick the other day. I feel like we've casted so much Siege that it's all molded into one, so I can't remember the exact matchup, but that setup looked eerily similar, and it was actually really, really effective at keeping the attack at bay, made the default push tricky, Skylight drop a challenge.
Yeah, well, how do you
soaked up
clear
utility.
it, right? The hard thing is, a lot of the time you think, oh, this Denari lasers, I want to throw a nade at it, but the problem is if the nade actually hits a laser, it will destroy the nade and it won't detonate.
I think one of the key ones was under that trolley position Brendo was playing last round, so it can be cleared by some explosives from the Skylight, for instance, but
Just have to make sure you land it and don't actually hit your nade into the laser. Otherwise, a Twitch for Flores also very good for clearing that.
they don't have either of those, though, unfortunately.
No, they don't. And I see 3 C4s brought by EP, ready to try and take down a player on APL.
They do have 10 frag grenades, though, James, so they've got plenty of explosives.
I hear a couple going out. Explosives on both sides. Jigsaw is just waiting for the sound cue of the upside down rappel. Oh, he misses his chance though as he falls on back.
Midpoint of the round. And Cairo is lurking below, feeding good information live to the rest of the defense. Good drone work from Chiefs, bit of info deep. And it is Cairo on that pulse now to be targeted on Deathmark. We'll be able to relay that it is the white stairs rappel.
There it is.
And immediately Jigsaw jumps into action off that call. And that's back-to-back rounds where the Deimos has actually aided Jigsaw in finding a kill.
Yeah, and another round where Jigsaw finds the opening kill. That is his 6th opening kill in this game. He has been opening the gates. 7th opening kill in
had
this
one
game.
back in round 2.
Oh my god.
But it's only been about a 50-50 conversion off that, so not the most telling metric.
As he hopes to try and land double digits here, takes a little bit of damage, or rather gives a little bit of damage to Jekena on the Blackbeard and then falls back. Hasn't seemingly slowed down since losing that Solus and picking up the Mozzie instead as the Aussie starts to make his way back up the stairs, keen for a fight, eager. But look at Chiefs, 20 seconds to play, and they are not in position to plant as of yet. Enterprise are on the verge of pushing us deeper and deeper as Jigsaw hits 20. Lunchbox is down, Jekena finds a gap, but is immediately shut down afterwards as well. Relays is not long for this world, but EP are longing for an overtime.
Yeah, fair play to EP, locking in. OT needed. I wasn't quite sure EP were going to be able to recover. It was a devastating start, trailing by 4. Able to lock in, though, after the mag timeout, eventually. Took one round additional for it to be forfeited, but
It's been
since
back
that
and
point,
forth. It
they've
was
been good.
4 in a row for Chiefs, 4 in a row for EP. 2 in a row for Chiefs, 2 in a row for EP.
Yeah.
If any team finds 2 in a row now, it's over.
EP to defend. It's been their stronger side. It's been the stronger side for both teams with a 2-4 split respectively. Mining up first.
It's up to Chiefs to figure out how do they deal with this early aggression from Jigsaw. 20 kills in just 12 rounds. Constantly fed information by Tuhan on that pulse. And even sometimes, as you said, by his teammates who are getting Deimos tracked, as they can tell where that Deimos is. Wow, look at that site strength. This is very much a defender-sided site in this game so far, especially when teams find the opening kill. And yeah, just looking at the opening kill, we've said it a few times, but Jigsaw in their defensive half got the opening kill every single round except for one when player got it onto Cairo. And then in their attack half, Jigsaw also got 2 opening kills, 7 so far in just 12 rounds. And keen for more as well.
Well, he's looked ever dangerous in the early round, especially. What does Jigsaw have up his sleeve for round 13? Doesn't seem like he's really had an opportunity presented to him, so the Chiefs have done well to be cautious here. The Lion and the Deimos in play for info. And a player-trapped Pixel.
Don't know if Relays is aware, but Bappin is down. Almost going to be finished off. The nade will finish him off. However, Tuhan takes the chance to Nitro Relays. More or less an even trade, but for Chiefs, that does give them some ground. Uh-oh. Oh, wow. Jacana almost dies to that second Thorn Trap. Had to turn to face it just to try and tank extra damage and expose his back to Brendo.
Jigsaw with a pre-placed Nitro there as well from the shop door. So keep that in mind as Chiefs look to progress forward here. He could blow that off Brendo's info. And if it lands, that could be a defining moment in the round. Tuhan as well will rotate to first floor, so still feeding info on the pulse. 3 targets available here for Lunchbox.
Oh, this is going to be good info here for Tuhan. He might even be able to get a wallbang here. Jigsaw's C4 actually misses in the end as he tries to fight that player upstairs and now rotates back towards the mining bomb site. The big thing is Tuhan can continue getting info here for the flank from Brendo as he makes his way up the stairs. Here comes the flank from Tuhan. He misses his fights. That's a critical mistake there for Tui, and one that Enterprise may well have to eat. Jacana makes his way into the bomb site as Neptune supports him as well. Brendo needs to try and win this fight upstairs. The Lunchbox is keeping him at bay. Jigsaw has no Nitro Cell left to try and deny this plant, and as such it will go down. Brendo able to kill Jacana, but not before that diffuser is confirmed on the ground. It's now a retake for Brendo and Jigsaw up against their former organization as Chiefs look to try and claim a 3rd match point. Brendo stands in their way. 20 seconds and ticking away on that defuse as Jigsaw hunts deeper. Lunchbox and Neptune fall back. Jigsaw covers. Brendo is forcing that plant. Neptune can't find the angle, and Jigsaw has clutched up with Brendo. Enterprise with a match point of their own on Cafe.
Uh-oh. Some cheeky grins on the side of EP.
Oh no, oh no.
Yep, they know that they got away with one there. To be fair, originally, before the final push, you could probably say fairly that EP were in the better of the 2 positions. Tried to aggress, offside, Chiefs right into it, which they've done really well over the course of the map so far.
Now they take their tactical timeout.
Leaving it to the 11th hour. And so no doubt probably a seed of frustration planted after the last round, but it's up to Nate to rally the troops and get them to refresh.
Look, we never expected Chiefs to be able to win more attacks than defenses here in overtime. EP only just barely winning that off of a clutch. But that's the thing. That's the thing about having these incredibly talented individual players and this level of experience. They are so capable in these dire moments. They never count themselves out. Doesn't matter the score, doesn't matter the numbers deficit in the round. They will dig deeper and deeper until the game is theirs. Enterprise were down 0-4, and then they were down 6-4, and then they were down 2v4. And now they are so close to taking Cafe.
Right here. Oh, when Tuhan lost that fight, it felt like Chiefs were on for a big attacking round win. They just got the plant down, and then in the post, Neptune fell down the hatch, but was unable to successfully deny the counter to Fuse. An awkward one ultimately there for Chiefs. Now trailing. They elect to go kitchen for their sole defensive round here in OT.
5 seconds remaining.
An interesting decision.
Yeah,
We'll see if it pays
they did
off.
only play this once on their... they played this twice on their defensive half. They won it both times. Whereas the other two bomb sites, they won once and lost once.
So tonight they'll play the Goyo Coffee side set up here, and in response, Bappin brings the Twitch. VIP cross also in play.
It's good damage.
As expected.
Tuhan's got to be careful. Good damage already from Jekena, and plenty more tick damage available for Chiefs with 2 impacts, a C4, Smoke, and Goyo, plus the Thorn. Bappin needs to get active with that Twitch, as you say, and clear out not just the Goyos, but also ideally some Thorn traps as well. Thankfully for Tuhan, he's got the Finker there to continue healing him, boosting him up. Doesn't matter as much about that tick damage. Never underestimate what Jigsaw can do with that Finker LMG. He's already hit 22 kills.
Jigsaw in a position over towards red stairs that could be pretty influential. Barbed wire at the bottom of the stairs will impede his progress a little bit for now, but elsewhere, bot white, full control. VIP probably next on the checklist here for EP, or at least opening a reasonable route in towards that site if they are to opt for the freezer drop into that coffee plant. This position here, though, looks a little precarious, and
He knows.
a clear cue given across to Lunchbox, who's still sitting inside of Kochak.
EP are just biding their time. I like this from Karo with the Zove. He's now using his tin can openers to make some vert. Bappin's fallen. Jekena has actually snuck back upstairs. He's into pillars now. The big thing here for Jekena is not to overextend. His team has the numbers advantage. He doesn't need to force an early death here. Just sit and hold this position. Force EP to do the heavy lifting. Oh, wow. Goyo Fire completely obliterates Tuhan as the Blitz tries to make his way into Bakery. And now Cairo trying to hunt down that pesky little roamer eventually. Jekena will fall, but not without Cairo going down to just 1 HP. Brendo now, the last full HP player for Enterprise, as Jigsaw has fallen. And Chiefs sit back on the bomb site holding their crossfires. They do not need to make the next move. 20 seconds to play. Brendo caught in a crossfire. Cairo left all alone up above with no diffuser and no teammates. Just about no hope in the round either. Chiefs will dig again deeper on their defensive side and continue pushing this game, pushing Enterprise to their limits. Cairo looking for an exit frag or two. It doesn't matter, my friend. The round is over. We're going to a 15th. Chiefs have one final chance to lock this in.
Well, this map so far has been a tale of two teams not wanting to give up and giving it their all here in the opener, setting the stage for an interesting best of 3, and well, hopefully from an EP perspective, a little more resilience to be expected on Bank as well. So the roles swap once more for the final time. Defense has reigned supreme through regulation. 2-4 split in the favor of that role. Here in OT, it has also been successful. Over to Reading for the 15th and final. Do we maybe see an ace up the sleeve of Chiefs? I'm looking across at that sense pick early, and maybe the Snake to facilitate a quick entry in this round. It would be a bold decision to make to go for a direct hit in this round, but it could actually work out pretty well given we haven't seen it outside of the very, very first attack.
Yeah, and how did that one go?
From Chiefs, that one was a failure, but EP may have forgotten that one by now. I mean, I'm looking at a tree side hit, not the rappel dining, as a potential avenue.
So you think, what, going for the balcony?
Side, just straight through the door.
Oh man, it's no balcony.
2 doors and you're in.
Rush.
It's a ranked classic over.
It is a ranked classic. It's
it
very scary if the defense has top floor control.
Yeah, that's the threat.
Jigsaw is actually likely going to be running out this snow door.
And they dropped the sense anyway, so I imagine it is going to be pretty standard here with the map sweep.
Oh, look, Deimos and Dockerby together, as well as the Sens plus the Blackbeard. This is going to be a tear for anyone getting targeted on that defensive side. However, Jigsaw is continuing to fight in the early round. Prep to C4 at the snow door, ready to go for a run out if required.
Swapping mag.
Yeah, part of the reason as well I thought we could see something direct is in response to the Nomad gridlock ban, which has clearly allowed EP to be more aggressive and proactive around the map. To be fair though, Chiefs generally speaking have actually done quite a good job in enticing that aggression and punishing it.
Yeah, it tends to be hit and miss for both teams. Who wins that aggressive exchange? Chicane's got to be extra wary of C4s. 4 C4s here for Enterprise. And once again, Tuhan.
Well, he's freezer at the moment, Tuhan, so he'll be calling that white stairs side is completely clear. So EP should have a pretty good read that it is cigar side.
Bappen burns his C4 very early. Brendo's actually detected by the solid snake. Otherwise, I thought he could have dealt some damage hidden away in that position at bar. But Enterprise give up a lot of ground. Everyone falling off that top floor. And Lunchbox now targeting Bappen on that Deimos. And then immediately dismissing it, looking for another player instead.
70 seconds now remains. Chiefs with full control above, but there's the threat of the pulse on first floor for EP. And still 3 nitros that could wreak havoc in the round for Chiefs. And so it's still volatile for both. Jaykenna takes a chunk of damage. Oh, he's down. Oh. It's another opening kill for Jigsaw.
Wow, another nitro cell kill as well. EP turning up the heat as Tuhan continues to gain information for his team to reposition, to prepare for where Chiefs are coming for them. But Chiefs are looking for a plant. Player is forcing it down. Jigsaw's found a second. It'll need to be a retake now for Enterprise. Cairo gets aggressive, takes down player, but not before the diffuser has been locked in. Neptune and Lunchbox now into the post plant 2v5. But do they have the info? Do they have the verticality? Cairo baits off the plant, and Jigsaw's now made it a 1v5 for Neptune. Enterprise are on the verge of yet another retake. Lunchbox finds the first, gunning for a second, needs to try and take down Cairo. But Bappen says if you take a shot at the king, you better not miss. EP steal their map in the series, and we go deeper to rematch on Bank.
I think my family always knew that. They knew I was like smart in what I would focus in, and then obviously knew that I did not like school. I was like intelligent, but I just hated school. So I think they kind of understood that it wouldn't always end like what they would have imagined in terms of like a destined career in like uni. I would send them like streams and they would kind of understand like, this is cool, this is fun, like people are watching, there's people that actually like enjoy the game. They didn't understand that it can definitely be a career at the time. It was just like, he's playing games. So they're definitely worried about the future, 100%. After EWC, that was when it fully changed. They obviously saw me fly to a different country and compete against all the other teams and see like the viewer count and the broadcast. That's kind of when it started, not really started, but their full support in terms of like, they love what I'm doing. They support like the career path in that time. Now they love it. I think my dad's support, I couldn't wish for more. I don't want to cry on fucking camera. I don't want to be a cry merchant like Cairo, bro. Bro, I can't. I'm like tearing up. I'm like thinking about it. He's a very hardworking person because I don't really see him much because he's like always working in terms of like his business, whatever. So to see him like just like wake up at like 4 AM to watch my games is like crazy. Like, cause obviously I'm in Saudi across the world and he's always texting me like, you're doing crazy. Like he's like tapped in, like he's like Furia, like the world champs. Just like insane to me, like people like this like exist or like help like support me, because it's obviously not like the traditional in an Asian family, obviously, right? So it's just incredible like how much he supported me. Bro, there's times I've wanted to quit. He like fucking stays up like every night, comes to like all my events that he can come to. So it's like incredible. So I love him a lot. Family support means like insane. Yeah.
They've come out windmilling like an Englishman looking for a scrap. But talking of a scrap, Pino!
If he goes uncontested and the kick goes cold, that'll be devastating. The grenade goes through, that's the swing! Cyber and Bullet are able to get one apiece with the kit so far away, and Canadian down upstairs. Cyber. Wow, that was special.
It's a 1 versus 3 to hold, and they're pushing him from behind. He's found one. He's got to get the vertical as well. They get pulled off him. We're down to the last 3 or 4 seconds. Ryder's got another. He's held on. He's going to do it. And PSG take the 2-1 win.
Both players spotted, but the res can be made successfully.
Information from the bees. It goes in. W7s. They cement themselves as one of the greatest of all time.
He's starting to get cooked alive, Ollie, but he's using the stem pistols. Look at this from the dock. Surely not. Brilliant. That's play of the year in my book. Plays the game, hits the old body, doesn't quite catch it. There's the impact.
He gets it.
There's the douse. He doesn't have the confirmation. He's going back. He's not quite sure. He
Esky gotta go.
A few seconds. Stick it, Ness. Stick it.
This is an angle that he might be able to contest. No, unfortunately, he takes just a bit of damage there. A walk, I guess, the second one. Eclipse, though, will get one, turning it into a 2v2. Now they push it on the side. The Bandit will lose out on this. Eclipse, the last alive on the Ela. He spots the head and takes him down. The ace for Waka.
He will down BC. Canadian positioning to pick up, but that's going to result in a double nade from Vertical. That's 4 for him in the round. Necrox, the final defender against Vertical. The ace, absolute domination.
Believe in magic, Michael. Team 1 does as they win the Mexico Major.
in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Deeply this time. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Anyone else? Anyone else?
Robert, this is not working.
I don't think this is working.
This is not working.
You know what?
No,
I'm so sick of shit.
Rubbish.
Oh, that.
You know what we need? We need a jigsaw puzzle.
We do need a jigsaw puzzle. You know what? Next time, we'll try to find the pieces. Hopefully not miss the ones around the edges, because I'll tell you what, Nick, Jigsaw did not miss a single piece of that puzzle.
No, it was honestly ridiculous. It's a classic tale for EP, really, where Jigsaw drops a 20 bomb and he still just barely scraped by with a single round. He had 8 opening kills, dropped 25 kills to end it, almost broke the record in a best of one map. And yet, Chiefs, they hold on for as long as humanly possible.
Crazy.
Ridiculous.
It was crazy, wasn't it, Jake? I mean, individual performances aside, one of the more entertaining matches I've watched in a long while.
Yeah, really, really good game. I think that clearly for Chiefs, they were up to the challenge in the first 4 rounds, 4-0 straight, and I wasn't surprised. I think when they win an upper bracket final against Enterprise, that we shouldn't be surprised in the opening map that they're looking ultra competitive. We probably expected, obviously, Enterprise to bring it back. They win it 2. We speak at halftime thinking, okay, game on, and then we see the 2 from Enterprise, and then it's all tied up.
Yeah.
Where we then get to is Chiefs, match point, and then they get a 5 versus 3 advantage. At that point, I'm thinking, wow, they've actually navigated this situation. They've pulled through. They've been able to respond to that comeback from Enterprise. This is actually very mature of a performance. And they squandered a missed opportunity, Nick, because at 5 versus 3 in that 11th round, Mappin goes on, clutches it, and from that moment on, 4 of the next 5 to Enterprise. They're just like, oh, we almost lost it. We're going to make sure we close this out now.
Yeah. And even in the very final round, right? Like, yes, they lose an opening kill to a C4 from Jigsaw downstairs, but they get the plant off. They get, like, I think 3 attackers alive, player who planted dies shortly after. It's a 2v5 at that point. It looks so winnable until the very final few moments of the round. But this right here, it's so hard to beat. Again, world record pace, 25 kills, 8 opening kills. That is absurd. And again, just to reiterate it, this is an individual performance of a lifetime, and it still is only a victory by 1.
Yeah, it's kind of absurd, and how close that one was, like you were alluding to there. Just to give some context for everyone at home to understand what Jigsaw's actually achieved there. 25 kills and 8 opening engagements won, right? In his last series against the Chiefs, 24 kills and only 6 opening engagements across 3 maps.
You know what I'd love to see, Rob, across the course of his career? An overall tally of kills in the Oceanic region.
Yeah.
Because he'd be surely number 1.
Have to be. Would have to be.
And so I pose the question to you, Nick, because you've now been a part of our APL family for a decent amount of time. Have you seen dominance from one individually in a particular region, so within their region, to this sort of level where they're so much better than everyone else in their own region?
I mean, the name that immediately comes to mind is going to be Shaiko and EML. Obviously, when you play in OCE League, there are going to be some bottom teams that you can kind of farm if you're Jigsaw, because he's that good.
I won't have that
I have to make the comment here. I will have it here. But the thing is, Jigsaw is doing this also against Chiefs in the grand final to play for the better seed at a LAN event. It's not like he's only farming the bad teams and choking against the better teams. But when you go to EML, where the level is a little bit higher, we have to say it, you have Shaiko doing the same thing. Over many, many years, insane performances. He's also leading the kill record, the plus minus, the KDRs in various different events in the last couple of years. Like, it's absurd what these kinds of players can do. And he still gets dropped. Yeah, it's possible, right? And that's the thing, right? We speak about Jigsaw. Great individual player, but bit of a toxic guy at times, right? He also has had a bit of drama following him along, but you gotta have that ego, you gotta have that confidence, but then you also need a teammate that can control you a little bit, right? A little bit of a leash around your neck, say, hey, Jigsaw, go over here, be a good boy, don't go too far.
Come on, Jigsaw.
I want to.
Yeah, drop 30. Come on here. Come on. Oh, good boy.
He's got that dog in him, I'll tell you that much. Obviously, moving into map 2, Bank. We saw what happened last time these two teams played on Bank. Now, I think, Nick, it's fair to say that's a pretty large anomaly. I don't think that we can expect anywhere near that kind of dominance. We heard from Brendo before, and he just said, I'll be honest with you, we played like shit. But Bank, last time they played, for those that didn't watch the upper bracket final, it was a 7-0 against Enterprise. That is the very first time they have ever been 7-0, Nick, and it was by the Chiefs on this exact map at the exact same point in the series.
Yeah, I think right now, you know, the simple thing with Chiefs is the mental game. We all think here that they probably should have won it on Cafe. The players too could also get kind of caught up in that, saying, oh, we should have won that, and there was this round, and that plant, and that clutch opportunity, and if only those small things went our way, we could win the first map. Forget about it. It's a best of 3. The big story here is Chiefs, they are super capable, also here for the second time, at beating Enterprise in a best of 3 environment. So you fully reset, you go back to Bank, and you should have the confidence. Yeah, Brendo's gonna say that they played the worst game of all time. That's their story. But for Chiefs, they're thinking, we are the better team. We'll just simply win again.
Probably a bit of both.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the neutral observation of it, I think we can all agree it wasn't Enterprise's best game. But also at the same time, that doesn't take anything away from what Chiefs did.
That's fair.
So you've got to be able to find bits of both.
Yeah.
But there are already striking similarities. You know, back in that upper bracket final, we played Chalet, 7-5 win for EP, so all rounds of regulation.
Yep.
I know this time we went to overtime on Cafe, and then Bank in the middle. So, I mean, it's hard to argue. The biggest difference I'll say, and I brought this up before, this time around, Enterprise is starting on defense. Last time, they were on the attack. That's where they struggled. So I'm not expecting 7-0 here. In fact, I'm going to go on a limb and say I think EP now win this 2-0.
Wow. I mean, look, to be fair, I mean, it's not...
It's time to get jiggy with it.
It's time.
Can't you see? Just the way he hypnotizes me.
Jiggy's good for 1. He's not good for 2 maps. He's not going to go 25 this time. Come on now.
Nick,
Hey,
so we're going to a third one?
He's not Shaiko. Settle down.
Yeah. Is that I say third map is required, and I hope that's going to be the case as well.
I mean, look, so do I. At this point, the last 2 maps, and for us as well, the last 2 maps in this series have already been played in their previous timeout just 3 days ago. Chiefs came out on top of that one. Will the script flip? Will it change? Only one way to find out. Let's get into Bank.
It is very much time to get this grand final one step further along for EP. After overcoming what was a very scary start to Cafe, they now return to a very scary place. Chiefs destroyed them on Bank last time these teams met, the first time and only time EP has ever lost a match, 7-0. But Chiefs, they don't need to win it 7-0, guys, but they certainly need to win it. Otherwise, this grand final will be finished in 2.
Yeah, this is a very, very difficult game to, or maps, I suppose, to predict and assess going in because it is so rare, 1, to see a 7-0, 2, to see a 7-0 with 2 teams that are considered close or on even footing. And then you factor in the fact that it wasn't really that long ago. Like, this is a weird situation. This is an oddity, a rarity. I'm a little surprised we even saw Bank make it through this veto. An opportunity for EP to prove to themselves that they can, in fact, play this map. And play it well. Chiefs, I'm sure, will be motivated, though, for the 14-0.
Oh, yeah. And as the analysts mentioned, last time these teams met on Bank, Enterprise, yes, they lost 7 rounds in a row, but they started on the attacking side. Now they start defense. Guz, EP's defense rate today in the 2 matches they played against Rival and against Chiefs, they've won 15 rounds of defense and only lost 4. 15-4. That is an unbelievable defense rate. And now they start on the defense here and look to continue that form. They have a very deadly operator lineup as well. They've extended their roam with the ability to fall off. It's Jigsaw all alone in open area, with the ability to fall down the hatch at a moment's notice.
Jigsaw elects to drop, makes the correct decision. Makes the calculated call to fall back and can play Nitro for the late round. And a Rooney trick from below just to stall out a little bit of the progression here for Chiefs. Second gate, bot square. At the moment, Chiefs posturing for a default. Testing the waters here on this opening attack. Hatches opened as visible. And Jay Kenner will be the courier of the kit. Bot blue currently. And the inverse mirror trick from EP, an old classic rearing its head in this round just to make that default a little more challenging to open up.
How are they to clear this mirror window, I wonder? We see the Hibana get to work, trying to breach open and execute onto the side, position to plant. I don't believe there is enough of a breach to try and get inside and plant there. Lunchbox has been tasked with a very ambitious amount of hard destruction to achieve, and he hasn't been able to do so. However, he has found a kill onto Jigsaw. Ooh, almost a kill for Cairo there, peeking up through the hatch. Here comes the plant. Will Neptune drop and try and go for kills? Cairo has actually managed to C4 onto Jekena, plant denied. Now, Lunchbox tries to reattempt with Neptune to cover from up above. Plant successful, but a 4v2 retake looks very possible here for Enterprise.
And they're just going to run straight up above James, and they need to clear Neptune.
Wow, one going all the way to the very top floor. Neptune shotgun in close quarters. He's not going to be in position to take down Bappin, and well played from EP to make this a 4v1. Now they know exactly where Lunchbox is, and he's shut down from above the hatch. Too perfect from EP on the retake. They weathered the storm, allowed that plant to go down, and then pounced on it afterwards. Beautiful from Enterprise.
Yeah, it was.
We got one. Yeah, well, it's more rounds than they had last time they played Bang.
Yeah, cheeky jab. It took me a moment for that to clock. Solid work from EP. Did a good job in denying the first plant attempt, and they didn't panic when they couldn't deny the second, or failed to deny the second. They sprung into action immediately, took top floor control. I love the Talus side hit as well. It's very typical for the player on that hatch above, tucked in the corner in that fashion. And being into the shotgun, whether they knew it or not, just filtering through open probably would have been very risky. So, a really good read. Well executed. Left Lunchbox on an island, and can't fault him for failing to win the 1vx. Over to open area for round number 2. Bands as well to note. The kite and clashed into the glass in the sense, so that the sense being taken away does limit some of the options for more hatch drop centric plays on that basement site. So Chase unable to commit to it in that last round. The Kaid as well, we saw exchange for some Aruni tricking in that round, which is not particularly prevalent right now.
No, we've seen a couple of teams do it. Chiefs and EP are the few teams that will do the Goyo trick or the Aruni trick. Obviously, EP could later decide to ban Hibana and go for the Goyo trick as well, but probably not necessary in a round like this, in a game like this. I think they're better off banning some of the power-ups for Chiefs. Honestly, the Capital wouldn't be a bad shout. Chiefs do seem to love their Cappy, because they brought him in this round as well. How are Chiefs... Oh, wow, what is that position from Tuhan? I've never seen someone put a shield and literally just tuck in the corner. That's a nice one. I like that idea. Often we see his armies play in positions like that in staff room, but no, the Warden can get the job done for sure, especially up against a Ying. Nice shot. Well played from Chiefs to find the opening, and Neptune helps out as Chiefs look to take control of the top floor. Lunchbox makes his way forward. He knows that Bappin is still inside stock. EP, how much longer will they hold on to this position for? Chiefs don't have anyone outside the balcony, which would otherwise completely obliterate his position. Someone now rotating over, and Bappin decides it's time to get out of dodge. He falls back down the stairs. 4v3 for the Chiefs as they flush most of the players back to the bomb site.
Yeah, it's not a particularly pleasant experience at the moment for EP in this second round. Tuhan goes searching lobby, maybe to play contact with player. Barricade, though, will force him to reveal position. And a stalemate between the two. Tuhan will be forced back though.
Oh, that was
main stairs. The flash misses from Lunchbox, and Brendo able to scamper away.
Yeah, EP still have a lot of mobility and freedom despite having a numbers disadvantage. They also have information. I saw pings going out onto players' position, which shouldn't be possible thanks to his gadget. Re-aggro now from Brendo as he looks to try and take above. Enterprise still holding on. Chiefs waiting for that flank. Here comes Lunchbox. The flash comes out and Jakena will swing, confirm that kill. Now a 4v2. Seems all but one for Chiefs, unless if Tuhan directly underneath the hatch can have a big impact, takes down the blitz, looks for a little more, but player stabs him in the back, and Neptune finishes the round for the Chiefs. An attack round on the board, and these teams are meeting each other for the battle right in the middle.
Yeah, close contest so far, and a good response there from Chiefs in the previous round. They found the 2 opening kills thus far. That one, though, in the second for the open hit was at about that minute mark. It then gave them quite a bit of maneuverability. I love the lurk option they had lobby. And the inclusion of the blitz as well was maybe not as super effective as they maybe would have liked, with Brendo getting away main early, but still a good amount of pressure that was able to translate into a round win. They'll trade out the blitz for this round, though. It's range hard breach alongside the Monty. So you think about the impact that that can have Kanto's side. And then on the side of defense, the kind of objective where I think the bans are going to favor them pretty significantly. You have the castle, the mirror, and the Azami. Even just one of those on this side, James, in isolation can be super impactful. So it's a bit of a triple threat on the top floor. And it's going to mean that Neptune here on the Flores has a big role in dealing with a lot of that utility. They bring some frag grenades as well. And instead of Jay Kennett actually committing to the shield, and instead of Chiefs committing to the range hard bridge, they switch it up. Blackbeard now in the hands of Relays, and they bring the Rayora as well. So testing the strat book perhaps here in round 3 are Chiefs.
How aggro will EP look to try and play here? Deciding to fall back, they're not using early nitros to kill these repelling players. The Roteros here from Neptune able to clear out a lot of util that would otherwise impede Chiefs as execute onto the site. No hard breach whatsoever, by the way, so they're not going to look to try and clear stock with hard breach. Though Brendo exposes himself to that long rappel all the way over from the car garage. Tuhan's also taking a bit of damage. Look at the information, these pre-placed drones from the Chiefs. They are just whittling away at these layers EP have brought. And a first flash very early on, perhaps trying to bait out some util. It succeeds.
Tuhan's looking for the nitro. Doesn't quite commit. It may have landed there onto Lunchbox. Either way, Chiefs now with a good foothold lobby side. They can send the Blackbeard in the front line. They have a great drone main stairs. That looks like one you'd use in ranks, James.
Maybe years ago. They have converted this advantage with 2 further kills now. Cairo and Jigsaw tossing up what is their best way to play this out. Jigsaw decides to vault in, getting aggressive. He plays deeper and closer to the bomb site, but now he's left all alone. Look, Jigsaw may be the greatest player to ever touch the game in this region, but he certainly isn't going to win this 1v5. I can tell you that right now. No repel inside. A flawless has player. Spider-Man repels down main stairs, and Chiefs take the lead.
I have casted this game now for way too long, and I don't think I have ever seen someone repel main stairs bank and get a kill. Sure, you see the drop, don't get me wrong, but the repel kill, that was...
Jigsaw's just said in chat, what is that? Hop off. Neptune says, you like that tech?
That's the new way to clear util top square.
Yeah, Chiefs know their bank. Oh, hey, look at this. Bit of a smoke ban. I really like that Ying ban here. I mean, Chiefs have brought it every single round so far. And now with the Ying and Glaz banned, Chiefs have far fewer options for playing very disruptive when they force plants down. But on the flip side of that, EP have far fewer ways of keeping these executes at bay. Now that the smoke is gone, it's going to force Cairo instead onto the Tachanka. Between Tachanka, Goyo, and a couple of C4s, EP have plenty of ways to deny this plant on the basement.
Interesting that they still commit the Warden into this round despite taking the Ying out of play. Of course, shotgun, nitro, and a comfort pick generally for a lot of players, so it's really not too unusual. Make sure to sign up for Challenger Circuit in the meantime if you are an aspiring pro. As we were saying before, many of these players did their grind through the ranks to get themselves into the position they are in today.
Of course. Yeah. I think Brendo's just the one that always comes to mind. Do you remember when he played in Challenger League? Ground Zero days. Good old days. A lot of these players came through that Challenger League.
He was on the team with... Was that the Milo Prez? Or was that maybe another iteration?
Good question. It would have been Prez, yeah. I don't know if Milo was on that team, but Prez definitely was. It's funny, though. If you look back a few years ago and you look at some of the...
Was Twent on that team?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
If you look back in time at some of those like OG Challenger League, like Tier 2 rosters, you realize that like every GOAT of the region has come from one of these once upon a time nobody teams. A lot of history for all the players in the server right now. I remember when Jigsaw first got picked up for the old Chiefs roster, or Bliss I should say, roster after getting 20 kills against that old Chiefs 2022 roster that was a 2021 team that was at the time the greatest team that we had seen in the region for a very long time. Jigsaw made a name for himself by fragging the hell out against the best in the region, and now he is fragging the hell out as the best in the region. Unless the Chiefs were able to win this today and take the crown away from them. Yeah, so notice how the Goyo placed in the middle of the hatch. That prevents you from putting an exothermic or a tin can opener. It doesn't prevent you from opening it with Hibana. So a little bit wasteful for EP to be putting those Goyos there when the Hibana is not banned.
Oh, Lunchbox, careful now.
Jesus.
That would have been
maybe it's not wasteful.
Caster curse if Lunchbox somehow dies to the flames after that call.
I don't know how you would die to that flame, but yeah, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, Lunchbox finding new ways to take damage. Minute to go in the round. Chiefs though still 5 up.
Maybe he was on drone next to it when it detonated. I don't know. Scary for Lunchbox. I really like the way that they're planning on using the Thatcher though. It's up to...
Never saw it.
Oh, okay. It's up to Relays here.
Nah, the Vault did. It was a little bit buggy.
It's up to Relays here on the Thatcher to try and prevent these exothermic charges from coming on through. Problem is the Thatcher will not counter Tachanka, so we need something from Chiefs to prevent Cairo from just firing out the entire bomb site for the rest of this round.
They may have to end up opting for a drop plant here, but without the sands, it could be a challenge. Neptune falls on the long angle. And there's no lurk threat to dislodge Tuhan from this position.
Yeah, this is very scary. Chiefs are typically very good at these fast executes. However, EP hold all the cards. Down into the bomb site they go, looking for a plant. Nitro Cell comes out. EMP
Thatcher
out of the air. Thank you to the Thatcher, but Chikenna's taking a hell of a lot of damage. Manages to confirm the plant regardless. And Cairo on the Tachanka has been dealt with. EP now look for a retake that is far more challenging than the last time they did so on this bomb site. Chiefs, still most of their players alive. Player trades himself back onto Jigsaw. And Relays is covering the plant. Jake on the bomb site takes down Brendo, who got a little bit too over egregious looking for that retake. Now it's all the way up to Tuhan. Finds the first of 3 required, but cannot find the second. Chiefs, 3 attacks in a row. Build their momentum in this first half of Bank.
Yeah, that was some really nice resilience. I think if you screenshot pre-execute there and try to make an assessment as to which team was ahead, it's probably fair to say that EP with the plant denial they had, the Tachanka, the Nitro, Even the Warden into the smoke, which I doubted as being impactful, nearly was influential. It looked pretty good for defense, but
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs
good
as they
work
can.
from Chiefs in salvaging that round. And big credit has to go to Relays in denying the Nitro. And the toes of his companion getting that plant down. And then was structured in the post as well. Certainly helped that there were more players up for Chiefs, but positionally they were absolutely spot on. Jake, are you alright?
Just saw Jake struggling a little bit.
I hope he's okay.
He's
He's
laughing now, thank goodness. Looked like he was... Did he try and eat more of the ramen and started choking?
I don't know what's going on with him over there. Maybe you just saw that round and was just completely amazed.
Started choking? Well, hopefully EP don't choke now. Down 3-1 on map 2. Look, they've got one round more than they did last time they played this
I
map.
thought for a second I wouldn't have a co-caster for the rest of the stage. Maybe just lay off the Coke Zeros, mate, for the rest of the week.
All right, well, deep into the 5th round now, and EP need to get back on the board. Their defensive record has been so good today. Coming into this map, they had won 15 of the last 19 defensive rounds that they've played today. And Bank is really starting to prove to be their curse. Chiefs found their number in these last 3 rounds. And now we go to Kitchen open area again. EP not really changing that much, to be honest. Relays very early in the round, got into an aggressive position, and player has just been waiting patiently for somebody to overswing.
But Jigsaw 1-5.
I would love to know the last time that Jigsaw has gone 1-5 after getting 20+ kills on the first map as well.
It's also now his 3rd entry death, and we think back to Cafe. It was a
7 entry
huge
kills.
strength. He had 7 entry kills. He walked away from that opening map 8-0. Actually, it was 8.
So he got opening kills more than half the rounds of the entire 15-round game.
8-0,
That's insane.
and he now sits 0-3 on Bank.
Maybe it's not that Bank isn't an Enterprise map. Maybe Bank isn't a Jigsaw map. This is a good position from Cairo, but he does get spotted out. If only he'd been staying on a mute jammer, but here it comes. Deep into the bomb site, Chiefs will go, and Relays from the fire and the flame will find his kill. Brendo forced into a 1v5, but Chiefs gunning for a 4th. There's no 2 ways about it. They're going to continue this streak, and that has got to be time for EP to call a tactical. Going for another one. Lunchbox with the blitz. EP has one final chance on their defensive side before they swap onto the attack.
Chiefs look really, really good on Bank. It's fun to watch. It's way too early to say, but could you imagine that it's just a 7-1 after a 7-0? Like, seriously, they look really switched on.
Curious as to see how Chiefs will do on the international stage. Of course, Enterprise managed top 8 at Salt Lake City Major, and you know, we're only a few rounds away from getting to the semi-finals when they took a map off of Twisted Minds. And Chiefs potentially looking like the better team out of the 2 at the moment. Will they have enough experience to dig deep at an international event against much more experienced and unpredictable competition?
Don't you start dying on me too, James.
Mate, I've been dying for a week. But I look at the difference between starting in Phase 1 versus starting in Phase 2. Look, guys, to start in Phase 1 with the play-ins, it's not easy, right? Through the EWC, you've got to play against teams like, well, Alula Club, who are, of course, through the MENA qualifier. They're likely to be one of the weaker teams in Phase 1, but never to be underestimated, as we know. Then you've got Fnatic, who are in peak form right now. Shopify Rebellion, finalists from Salt Lake City.
Best of 3 teams.
Yeah, and then you've got the 4th seed out of South America League, seeds 3 and 4 out of CNL, and then the APAC North seed 1 team. That's who you'll be fighting for. Just 2 spots from those 8 teams will make it through to the group stage, right? Whereas if you win this game, you go straight to the group stage. You do not want to leave it to chance, because I think even Chiefs or EP, whichever one ends up having to fight through phase 1, their chances of getting out are very slim.
And you get the 120 SI points, so if EP fail to potentially make a Saka, that could make things very interesting.
Well, EP are struggling on Bank. It gets worse now with Brendo getting picked early. Jigsaw looking to try and refrag, but he is too late. And Player has evaporated. 7 kills so far for Player. As finally Cairo puts him down, they look to lash out. Jigsaw's on for a big flank. This is a very unusual way to play it, but Jigsaw managed to trade himself. Him and the Blitz of Jekena both die after that exchange. We have a very strange round from EP starting to play out. 3 versus 3 it will be for the majority of this round as Chiefs prepare for the execute. But there is no Tachenka, and with smoke banned, the only reasonable plant denial here from Enterprise is Cairo's Mira with that C4. Perhaps some impact from Bappen, perhaps some aggression from Tuhan.
Yeah, you don't often see a 3v3 bank basement midpoint of the round. This is a little bit of a tricky one for both teams to digest and try and problem solve. Chiefs have tried to gain a little info, they'll work some util. Do they end up posturing for default? It'll also be into the inverse mirror setup. Plus that Nitro. It feels a little dangerous for Chiefs, but they can flush out some positions, namely red with the Capitao. Don't have the Thatcher though to rely upon for that also critical plant denial counter. 40 seconds remains and Cairo proactively finds one.
Yeah, Lunchbox not able to trade as well. This mirror window is going to be deadly. As Neptune tries to sneak on through, he prones underneath the angle, but he is now caught in a crossfire. Cairo shuts him down. Well played from Enterprise. They conjured up just enough energy to find a second round at the end of the half.
Once again, another strong first half from the Chiefs, backed up with a critical round by EP. 4-2 on Bank. I mean, we said going into this that it should look a lot more comfortable, but I'll be honest, I did expect a bit more on their defense, Jake.
Yeah, I mean, I expected a little bit more as well. I mean, at the end of the day, though, Nick, 2 defensive rounds is better than getting 7-0, so they're in the game. But ultimately, I think, as Rob's alluding to, I think 3-3 is probably what I was expecting. 5 out of 6 opening kills for Chiefs. They were able to get the plant down 3 times. Interestingly, no multi-kills, but obviously 2 rounds where they did get flawless. So I think when you kind of look at the half in isolation, a very good half for Chiefs. Like, to get the rounds they did. And I think it's fine that they weren't able to win basement. If there's going to be a site they struggle to win, it probably is going to be Locker CCTV in this region. So overall, it's a big tick for Chiefs, and it's looking more likely, I think, we'll get to Chalet.
Yeah, no, I think so as well. And to be honest, how many plans the Chiefs are playing for is actually quite incredible. So right now, technically this isn't on paper, I'll explain that after, but half the attacker rounds they've played, combining both Bank and Cafe, they've planted. Now, it's not a true stat because they have had like a 5 attack versus 1 defender, like on top 4 CO and Bank, but it's like they would have planted if they hadn't found the final kill, right? It was Jigsaw hiding in a corner. So they've planted half or been in a plant position half of the attacking times. That is how much they're playing on that objective and how much of a struggle EB are having at denying that kind of performance. And we don't have Jigsaw dropping 25 kills yet, so
that's very true.
In the server this time around.
Stop touching that TV. Stop touching that TV. Stop it.
It's not a TV. That's my Pookie.
That is your Pookie. That is your Pookie bear. You don't have a Pookie bear anywhere else at the moment, and that's okay. James, he's not yours. Not anymore. He's now part of the desk crew. But
part of the
part of the furniture.
Part of the furniture.
Part of the furniture.
That's what I was
never
going
heard a truer statement. That's all right. We got there in the end. Actually, Nick, funnily enough, I don't know. I might have missed your comment there, but I actually think yesterday as well, over half of their attacking rounds 1 were on the back of plants. So it's kind of like there is a very real trend here where the Chiefs are backing themselves into these mid to late round plays, which is something that's, I want to say it's really rare in OCE, even rarer in APAC.
Yeah, to be fair, it's also very challenging to get into a plant position against Enterprise, who love to lash out early and try and go for that disruptive sort of playstyle. So again, very, very big praise to Chiefs here, both in this series and last time they matched in the upper bracket. The thing is, when they go on sides up here for defense, your playstyle is going to change quite a lot. You can no longer play for a plant, you're a defender. And you can play for plant denial. You play Tachanka, Smoke, Goyo, Maestro, Echo, whatever. But the issue is, if Enterprise as an attacking team now aren't trying to plant, what exactly are you denying? So it's no longer up to Chiefs to control the playstyle now. They have to go for the adaptive play. If EP are playing for plants, you can play the denial. If they play for early kill map control, either you contest it with a roam of your own, or you play safely by the bomb site and try and play down the layers and play down the time. So now it's time for Chiefs' adaptation game on the fly to come into action.
And I think that if we were to look at the Chiefs kind of in isolation over the last 2 play days that they've had, they've definitely looked like a team that can do that. Bank has turned into a map that is far less pushy on the individual performances, especially for this series, which means that this could be well and truly up in the air. Chiefs, they do have the lead for now, but we've seen what Enterprise can do in a second half. Speaking of, let's get back underway.
I do wonder what Nick's looking at when he pretends to lock eyes with Jake on the desk. Is it just a plain white wall next to him?
He said that there's a window that looks outside, and I told him I'm going to make a little scarecrow.
Oh, he's taking a photo of it. That's very, very astute observation.
He'll sort that for you.
Thank you. I'm sure he's got his beautiful beach view from his mansion that he was able to buy with all his SI winnings.
That's right. That's right, yeah, of course. On the on the shores of Ibiza.
He's on the top of the mountain looking down the rest of the town. King of the village.
That is a mountain in Denmark. Alright, EP now on the attacking side, and while they don't have the Monty to utilize, Kara can jump on that Blackbeard. Nice little pre-fire through the smoke from Jigsaw, hoping to catch a Chiefs player trying to rotate underneath that cover. The big thing here for Chiefs is we got Relays with the Clash. What is he going to be able to do when the execute comes through? Feeding information for a potential plant denial, I hope. But that plant denial will be made somewhat more troublesome by the fact that the Echo's been banned, and now the fact that Player has lost his head to Jigsaw. He's finally woken up. He was 1 in 5. Since then, he's got 2 kills. Only died a single time. Oh, great angle, though, from Jekena. All the way into lobby. Typically, attacking teams will have a drone in this position, but they weren't able to warn Brendo. It feels like it might be a desperate time to attack, though. Jigsaw makes his way inside Jana Closet, finds a kill. But he's the only one from EP that's been able to deal damage so far.
Yeah, I think Jigsaw's had enough. He said, let me just push in, lads. I'll find the opening. Unfortunately, though, for him, a little bit stalled out now. Over towards Conference. Tuhan to contest the clash as Relays falls.
Wow.
Jekena looks good here on Bank, but now needs to find a 1v3.
Finds the first one. But guess who's watching his position? It's Jigsaw. On for the reload. Fake rip of the C4. Jigsaw gets exposed for a brief moment, but Cairo with the Blackbeard will dash him down. EP dominant in the first round on their attacking side.
That's solid from EP and a great positive way to kick off this second half on attack. They showed pretty good initiative. And if that is a sign of things to come in terms of Jigsaw and attack and the role that he may be able to play, be it on entry and perhaps through the mid-round as well, that could be a little bit scary. Down to basement for the follow-up. Can EP cook here on Bank? It would be an interesting tale if they were to respond in a 2-0 fashion in the grand final. You have the additional 120 points towards the 6 Invitational Global standings.
Yeah,
and as you were theorizing when we were, I believe, at the halftime break earlier, it's tough to envision these teams making it out of the first phase of EWC. So you really do want that favorable seeding.
For sure. I mean, you look at who's currently qualified for play-ins of Phase 1. Alula Club, Fnatic, Shopify Rebellion, and then the South America League Seed 4 is likely to be NIP or Los. That's both very strong teams. So you got CNL Seed 3 and 4, APL North Seed 1, probably going to be CAG. That's at least 3 to 4 teams that I think potentially better than both of these teams.
So few that make it through.
And only 2 from those 8 will make it through to the group stage. Or you just win this game right here and you go straight to group stage. You don't have to worry about that. Immediately 10,000 US higher prize money. Also, you mentioned the SI points. I mean, yeah, it's just, it's so much. There's so much value out of winning this game.
EP, let's be real, probably should be safe on points, right? If they finish first or second here, which they will, minimum of 300, then presuming they qualify for Osaka, probably a pretty safe bet. That
yeah, you would have thought that making top eight
Chiefs are the ones that really need every point they can get.
Yeah, that said, I mean, you know, you can never count on making the next major. What if these OCE teams really struggle at EWC and we get a slot adjustment for stage 2 and Asia gets 2 spots again?
That's also true, yeah.
Enemies inbound.
Then you might not make it to Osaka, and your chances of making it to SI next year will be dwindling. Tuhan, big kill onto Neptune with the blitz. A Vigil dispatched with this roam for the basement bomb site. Not successful thus far for Chiefs, as Jigsaw on the Solid Snake reveals 3 of the players.
Relays go searching for a bit of space. Oh, and he's well rewarded. Brendo, no idea.
Oh. Ironic, though, that Jakena then aggresses a little bit too much and loses his life to Jigsaw. Now, Chiefs do have a crossfire onto the position. Attempted flank there from player, but he decides to fall on back, goes all the way down. Relays finds another one, this time onto Bappin. Surely Enterprise will be able to take him down now. This roam has been incessant, and now Lunchbox drops all the way down, but Jigsaw's there ready to catch him, dropping through the vault hatch. EP have numbers advantage though, and Jigsaw is getting so much information knowing where both of these remaining players are thanks to the Solid Snake. Player must 1v3 against his old team. Takes down one, a lot of damage on the Tuhan. And now Cairo comes up against him in the 1v1. It's Blackbeard versus Tubarao. Bit of damage, but Cairo with the ADS. And EP find yet another round on this attacking side. They are fighting tooth and nail, and they are back in even stead with the Chiefs.
Fair play to Cairo. He was able to march forward, ensured that he didn't die to the leg shots, the foot shots, close that gap to potentially open up the opportunity for the melee. And I think that maybe that then planted the seed of doubt in the mind of player, not expecting Cairo to actually go gun up. And then he was kind of blindsided by the chassis, so never saw the shield drop. Certainly fine margins at the tail end of that round, but what can't be denied is the scoreline 4-4. A clean draw currently between these two. It's open area to break that draw at least momentarily. Could this be another case of a similar tale to Cafe with some of these violent swings? It was 4 straight for Chiefs. Could it be 4 straight for EP?
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds to go.
What can Chiefs do in trying to stall this out and disrupt? Can they find a way to deal with the double shield lineup? The Monty's banned, but EP will bring both the Blitz and the Blackbeard into the round. I also love the Twitch selection. Looking at the util of the Goyo and the Thorn. This lineup is a little scary. Don't discount Jigsaw as well on the Zofia. He can also have big influence against his army and just general util dump in the particular setup here for the attacks. So yeah, it's unnerving for Chiefs at the moment.
EP are cooking something, you can feel it. Double shield. Zoe very close to that bomb site. And the Rayora. Chiefs are struggling to read what is this plan from EP. Where are they gathering their forces before they go for an execute? Cairo attempted to make his way inside. Could rush very close to that bomb site. Bot square now is Jigsaw, rather top square. Concussion to go out. That'll feed some info Here come the smokes as well. It'll be an aggressive play into the breach. Where are you looking, Neptune? Cairo stabs him in the back. And now the Rayora gates create a safe haven for a plant from EP. Cairo not safe as he thought though, as player obliterates him with the impact grenade. And now, as the round restabilizes, Enterprise might have taken half of the bomb site. They haven't got that plant down, and now the diffuser is cold on the ground.
Well, the wall was soft. That was super high risk from Cairo when you think about maybe would have been better placed for planning it where Brendo was positioned. The more traditional chassis spot, but it might not matter. As EP able to bleed these picks in their favor, player will look to hold on alongside Relays.
No util though, and Jigsaw sneaks on through. Amongst the smoke, he finds his kill. Tuhan forcing that plant down. A Relays clutch needs to happen here. Tuhan takes a lot of damage, but no kill as of yet from the Goyo fire. And who but Jigsaw to claim the final kill. 4 rounds in a row for Enterprise as they take the lead.
Really good recovery. I love that setup. So Clear from top square made entry then through bot. It was Neptune right up close. It just got completely caught off guard, and difficult to blame him because there was a lot going on. Rayora gates also dispersed. Cairo's plant position was particularly vulnerable and aggressive from EP, so credit to Chiefs in denying that, but then that follow-up in the second wave of that push, they weren't able to withstand. And this bank, far more competitive than the last encounter.
We're getting 7-0 just 3 days ago to now taking the lead and being 2 rounds from taking the championship. EP have had a reprisal that is nothing short of extraordinary. Chiefs take their tactical timeout. They're the ones on that defensive side. They have not found a round on defense as of yet on Bank. Nate needs to cook something up right now. They've tried going top floor, they've tried basement, and they've tried open area. Nothing sticks. EP continue having more responses. Whether these strats, these executes are improvised, or whether there's something that's been prepared, Enterprise have been so diligent with them. They're not leaving any gaps in these attacks. And even when they do, even when the planter of Cairo dies early, they're able to quickly reposition and redeem the round. And Jigsaw is on a tear today.
Sure is. Was only a handful of kills away from the BO1 record back on map 1. And whilst he did have a slow start here on Bank,
from 1 and 5 to 9 and 7 is insane.
He has
8 kills to only 2 deaths.
Yeah. Was able to make up for whatever wasn't working in that first half, and maybe just the nature of his role here, attacking into Bank. It's putting him in strong playmaking positions, and as a result of being such a sharp player and being informed tonight, he is capturing them nicely. Chiefs have looked sound tactically over the course of this stage, and after that timeout, courtesy of Nate, we'll see if that will continue here on Bank. A talented team and did a great job to beat EP last time out to qualify themselves into EWC, but EP now, after securing that spot themselves, are on a march towards a much more favorable seeding.
Yeah, they are much more favorable. Now, we've had the operator bans come on through the final ones of the game. Chiefs got rid of the Blackbeard. Good move, though we've seen EP happy to run this blitz, and we got EP getting rid of the Azami, which is so powerful on so many of these bomb sites, especially this top floor. Wait, is this potential for a
triple spam?
Bank?
Triple spam. Oh, he only has the one though. Oh, sorry, it's I thought it was the same.
No, it's Jigsaw. Brendo's on the windows. That's all right, but still, I mean, he had a chance at just getting it with the gun. Yeah. Unfortunately for Jigsaw, the timing was just off. He wasn't quite in position.
Yes, Nick, you don't have to add me in the Discord, mate. I did see it. Brendo countering the castles in the meantime, by the way. That's where his impacts were being used.
Well, I'd like to see Brendo try and counter Relays on the Clash, because at the moment, Relays is aggressively playing outside of Janitor's Hallway. Speaking of aggression, here comes a creep from Jackenna all the way down in blue stairs. If he can get on for a flank, he might be able to take down Jigsaw. Nice use of the Rayora here. One goes out, but Kyra on the blitz is the first to fall. Diffuser on the ground, not planted. Jackenna is biding his time as Tuhan decides it's about his time to get inside, but cut down as he sprints to a plant spot. Jackenna with his C4 puts a stop to Jigsaw on this push, and Enterprise have had the wind suck from their execute.
They sure have. Credit to Chiefs. They will convert off the back of that tactical timeout. Telling metric of a team that can respond to the instruction given by their coach, and I use it as a mark of resilience as well, and being able to hold momentum. It was a hot streak for EP. And Chiefs probably the only other team in this league that could have put it to an end.
Yeah, and look, you're talking about it in the past tense. I never want to count it out. Maybe now. But look, we saw a lot of 2v4s and a lot of clutches. Unwinnable situations being stolen by Enterprise on Cafe. It's always Bap Demon, says Lunchbox. As Bappin looks to try and pad a few kills, he's not going to be given the chance here. Chiefs will find a 5th round. We go deeper and deeper in this series, up to break point. 5 rounds apiece. If EP win 1 more, they've got match and championship point. If Chiefs win 2 more, then they send us the distance to a 3rd map. I believe it's Chalet. Yeah, it is. Chalet, can you imagine?
That'll be chaotic.
Oh my God. I feel like we deserve to see 3 maps out of these teams. Whichever way this pans out, whether Chiefs push us the distance or whether Enterprise win here on Bank after getting 7-0'd by Chiefs on it 3 days ago, we are so treated today. So very treated. Downstairs now for Chiefs after they won that top floor defense, the first defense they've won on Bank today. Down into the basement they go. This bomb site on paper is the best for defense, but Chiefs have clearly been a little bit scared of going to it. They've waited a long time to look for a second attempt. But honestly, they got so close to winning it last time they played it as well. They won that roam game. It was just that EP managed to rush the site. Chiefs are electing to have a very unusual way of defending this bomb site. I think EP have started to read it. But this time they only have the 1 shield. Guys, they've been running a lot of Blitz Blackbeard combo. Now that Blackbeard's banned out, EP only have the Blitz for this round.
Drone up and running.
Clear.
Intriguingly, we will see the ram. Oh! Jigsaw gets caught. Neptune from Archives has a peek pot square. Up through the double. That is a sneaky way to get an opening kill, but it pays off big time, and it just puts the cooler on Jigsaw. Puts him on ice for a little bit as he found some big form in the last handful of rounds, and I do wonder how influential this will end up being. As mentioned, the ram is in play to help contest these players vertically, but Neptune's impact has already been felt.
The big thing here for me is I would rather, if I'm Chiefs, to get back to site 5v4 than to risk continue fighting. I'm glad that Neptune has fallen off as soon as that vert starts to come out. I do not think Chiefs need to overcommit to the roam game here. They've got their 1. They've punished Jigsaw, the best fragger here from EP so far, and also, pivotally, the Solid Snake, which has gained them so much information. Now Bappin opening up this hatch. Can be stalled out for a little bit by player, that's good, but continue falling back here for Chiefs. I don't want them to overstay their welcome.
Oh, but maybe they will.
Yeah, they will.
Lunchbox was in a position where he couldn't easily rotate back down below. And courtesy of a sharp shot from Cairo, it's now back in a 4 versus 4. The rest of the defense now forced back. Everybody drops to basement as Chiefs now look to transition into plant denial. Double Nitro to Burrell. How did EP look to though break this down? It's interesting. They have the 1 smoke for the layer, double flash. Cairo can even send Roteros for info gather. Doesn't have to worry about the Goyo. Default should probably be the most optimal here.
Oh, but there's a player inside of dirt.
What?
Oh, this is not a good play. I don't know what player is doing, but he completely trapped himself there.
That's a rare misstep from player.
Yeah, he gave away the advantage in this round with it as well. Now EP should be able to lock this in. That is going to be one to think about later tonight. If Chiefs let this slip between their fingers, player will be frustrated at losing that. But have a look. It's not a default plan. It's a back hit here from Tuhan. This is a risky play. And Cairo has fallen. Brendo as well. Tuhan has to desperately make his way into the bomb site, but he doesn't have that diffuser.
Time.
It's being hunted down. It's being kept in control, but Relays has fallen. It's Jakenna now in a 1v2, but Tuhan, I don't think he has the position.
Oh, he got it.
He forces his way into the plant. It gets denied from behind! He just barely denies it in time! How on earth did he win that? Bappen just had to land the shots, but by the skin of his teeth, Jakenna denies the plant, and with it, Chiefs will take the round. Far, far too close for comfort.
The Chiefs have a cheeky laugh about that one. Oh my word. That was a funny end to the round. Chiefs up 6-5 and 1 away from pushing this one to Chalet. Mag will look to refocus the troops. It would have felt like they were well and truly back in that round, especially when player got isolated server. It felt like they were on. Went for the backdrop pivot. And whilst they were able to just initiate the plant in the first place, was tied. Tuhan was forced to go deep elevator to find that pick. Then got it down with a tick or two remaining in the round. It wasn't long. Unfortunately, though, Bappen was unable to get himself in a position to find Jakenna.
The plan started with like no time on the clock. It was 7 seconds. Tuhan just had to hold F and hope that Bappen covered. I cannot believe that the first 2 shotgun shots did not land. Oh my god.
And Bappen was spraying that position on the wide swing just a fraction after the plant got denied. It was very close to being covered.
Wowie. Oh, man. Chiefs and EP really keeping us on our toes. But look, if there's anything going for EP, is they've taken their tactical timeout right when they know more or less what bomb site should be played here, because Chiefs still have the top floor and the basement locked up, which means it's going to be one of these 2 ground floor bomb sites. Pretty safe to assume Chiefs will go open area staff room as they have. Now this time, guys, they don't have that as Army. Last time they did, although he did die early because of that unusual execute EP went for. Now with everything on the line, do EP go for another unusual execute rush onto the bomb site? Well, they don't have the Rayora this time, but they have brought, for the first time in this series, Glass.
No Warden counter for Chiefs, so they may be susceptible to that Glaz, depending on how Bappen looks to layer that utility and critically what position. If it ends up being like a play bot square for E, does he employ it maybe above? Certainly a versatile operator, could even go print a window. There's options available for Bappen. As once again, EP will posture electrical.
I like this.
Eerily similar to last time out. Without that Rayora, however, it won't be a 1-to-1.
The Wamai Magnet actually positioned inside of electrical to catch that first explosive from Tuhan. He's actually out of explosives.
That's a big moment in the round from a utility standpoint.
Wow. Unusual My Magnet from Neptune, but it might actually prevent that strat from happening. And the Selmas will detonate. Gives time, though, for Neptune to reposition.
Oh, if he gets drone, though, it's a rough spot to be in.
Player on a long angle has finished off Tuhan. Zof struggling in this round a lot. They're going to try and look for an execute here. But again, there were Might Magnets are catching all of this util. Kara's going to try and plant in the smoke.
No.
With the cover. And the Glaz to peek through the smoke as well. Neptune stands up, but he needs to use his C4. Out it comes, but it is far too late to deny that plant. Kara will be finished off by the gas. But EP look to try and send us to overtime. Jakenna is on for his flank. Out goes his C4. He's about to take the fight with Brendo. Up against the AK-12 with the SMG-11 in hand. He's being watched from all the way at top square as well. Chiefs have the numbers advantage, and they will further it. No, indeed, Brendo will tie it back up. Bappen finishing off Neptune as well. It's a nigh impossible task for Relays and Lunchbox as Relays gets traded back. Jigsaw sends us the distance. EP are not finished on Bank just yet. They will continue fighting until the championship is theirs. We're headed to overtime.
Was that some groans I heard from the desk? They really want 3 maps over there, James. They would have loved to have this to have immediately been pushed to 3 in regulation. But not to be.
I mean, last time we saw these teams meet, we got an 8-7 on the final map. I feel like we deserve nothing less. What are the chances we get 3 8-7s out of this series? Non-zero,
low,
I would say.
Low, but non-zero.
Non-zero.
Yeah.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
It would be pretty wild. I wonder if Neptune had his time again. Do you throw the nitro straight away?
Oh,
did you reckon he
absolutely.
just forgot he had it, or thought that he couldn't block it? I'm trying to understand. Like, it's very rare something like that happens, so you often need to try and rationalize why it took place.
What's funny really is that it was the one my
or
magnet.
just thought maybe it would get shot out. Obviously that.
I don't know. I don't
think
think he really thought about it that much. I'm not sure if he heard the plant going down either.
Nah, surely.
Didn't
he relay it to player who then tried to deny?
I don't know. It is funny though because that plant or that smoke went into that position because it was caught by the Wamai magnet. It was quick thinking from EP to see that their smoke got caught by the magnet and think, you know what, I don't care that it got caught, I'm going to go and plant in it anyway.
That they had the blitz because it was ultimately the turtle that I'm pretty sure covered it. So.
It was indeed the turtle, and also fortunate that they had the glass. Couldn't have gotten much better as a combination there for EP. They really played off their feet. Now they're back on their defensive side, which was a challenge for them. Of course, only 2 rounds of defense were won on their side. Down into the basement they go. Now they did win this 2 out of the 3 times they picked it. And they're going for that roam again. How long will Jigsaw hold on to this roam before he falls back down the hatches?
Grenade out.
It's checklist time for Chiefs as they try and get 1 step closer towards closing out around the map. And that is step 1, done. Jakenna, I think they're actually maybe getting somewhat close to netting a kill, but either way, EP are forced back to basement, where they will resume their positions and their structure for the plant denial to follow. Triple Nitro available, Zoto to maybe stall out and stretch out this attack a little bit. Not brought as counterplay onto the Sense, as that was already banned out. On the side of Chiefs, it's more shield play here on Bank. Could add an interesting element and an opportunity for Jakenna, maybe in a similar vein to the previous round, to plant in an off position. It does offer that flexibility.
Yeah, the big one that I'm thinking about is the Thatcher for the late round.
Yeah, Relays has been super sharp with those EMPs.
Oh, interesting that the blitz goes down early, especially from this position here. He must have just exposed himself to the hatch. Jigsaw went for that swing. Means no more turtle plant on for Chiefs, so they're going to be far more exposed, especially if they go for the deeper plant. Jigsaw wants a fight so badly. Bappen does as well, as he finds it against his old rival and old teammate. Chiefs are running out of options here. This attack is looking fairly uninspired. The Habana pellets finally do detonate. Now Jigsaw's in a spot of bother, but he still has his nitro cell. Nade comes out. He'll tank a little bit of damage from it. Relays has to land these shots with the EMP. What are you doing? He puts it away at the wrong moment, and now the plant will be denied completely. Relays has to do everything he can with the rifle, but it ain't gonna happen. EP have a chance now. at finishing it off. At finishing what they started in that upper bracket final when Chiefs wrestled their throne away from them. Now EP have a chance to take it back.
What a round from EP. It really was dominant from start to finish, and whilst maybe there were blemishes from Chiefs, it's difficult to deny that the defense from Enterprise was particularly strong.
What's the scoreline right now, guys? I blanked. I didn't see the score. Do you know what the score is right now?
The scoreline is half of 12 to half of 14.
Oh, sorry. Maths was never my strong suit. Do you know what how many rounds Chiefs have won?
5 plus 1 to 6 plus 1.
Production just told me that it's currently 6-7.
Well, it looks like we're turning to basement for this next round. Apologies for the pause. Tech delay called. I think it may have been for Bappin's webcam, so he'll get those muscles back in frame, and we should be good to go in a moment. And in fact, we do resume. So let's jump back in. Can EP get it done in 14 rounds?
Oh, big question, big question. Took him 15 to take Cafe. Pushed all the way to the final round of OT. Look, if there's any evidence that these teams are so closely matched, it's this series right here. Not to mention the series we saw between them in the upper bracket final, where it ended up, it's an 8-7 win for Chiefs on the final map of Fortress. Enterprise have been burning for a chance at vengeance ever since that match earlier this week. And now they've been given that opportunity and they are ready for it. They have been grinding for this moment, for a return to the international stage, not just because they qualified for EWC, but because they are the best team in this region. And they want everybody to know it. They want to make a statement here against the Chiefs by taking them back to Bank, where EP fumbled 0-7 just a few days ago, and righting the wrongs of that upper bracket final.
That's right. Would have been very easy to have just taken it out of play and relied on the rest of their map pool, which is fairly deep, but they've taken a calculated risk, and it might pay off. Long angle from Lunchbox, but forfeits that position. Allows Jigsaw now to sneak in, and an all clear on the Solid Snake radar means that him and alongside the team can begin to get to work. Hard breach up on the Hibana and Cairo with secondaries alongside Bappin with a couple as well. And the sense suggesting to me that they could be looking for that set play on the drop. It does mean that Lunchbox will want to stay alive. Zoto Cannons does a great counter onto the sense.
There's been an excellent time management here from Enterprise. And now they get to work with the fuse as well to clear out a ton of util. Also does a hell of a lot of damage to Lunchbox.
So he's banded on the hatch instead. That could leave them susceptible to the sense late. That's an interesting call from Lunchbox. Maybe unknowing of the presence of the sense, so
perhaps
not default. But I thought that maybe it was brought in anticipation for it. Maybe not, though.
And now the Thatcher as well, used to counter not just the Clash himself, but also the util behind him. This is beautiful. Great work from Enterprise to peel away the layers of this Chiefs defense. Now Neptune is going to be trapped very shortly. A nade prepared, likely to be tossed his way.
And Brendo will see it.
Oh, and surely he's going to die now. Tuhun swings him with the shotgun from Hibana. Enterprise showing their mettle here in what may be the final round of OCE for Stage 1.
Got to deal with relays, though. Lunchbox falls elsewhere. EP with the two-player advantage. A kill here onto relays should confirm the round and confirm the stage.
Well, C4, a lot of damage, but doesn't get the kill as of yet. Forced to reload. Cairo is closing the distance. Goes for the knife. Cairo down on the floor, looking for a refrag, but relays! Double here in server. He gives Chiefs a lifeline as Enterprise look to try and respond, forcing the position, but they don't have the util they need, and he shuts down Brendo! Relays drop from Enterprise, and now he drops them one by one. Desperately down the main stairs, Jigsaw hungry for more, but Player eliminates him. It's all up to Bappa now. Can he walk the walk just like he talks the talk? Almost a shot onto Player. Going deep with the pistol, but not to be. Another 15-round map here for Chiefs and EP.
Oh my, bravo Relays. What a play. As I said, a kill there from EP onto the player server was more than likely going to be enough to win the map and win the stage. But a huge solo effort from the former EP man himself. Just enough to keep the Chiefs alive. And this will be round 30 of this best of 3.
And I don't know if we have ever had a game, a grand final in OCE, go 15 rounds for 3 maps. I'm not sure that's ever happened. Have we even seen an 8-7, 8-7, 2-0? I don't know if we've ever seen this region be as tight as it is right now between the top 2 teams. That's honest. And look, we've had some fierce rivalries in the past. You look back over the years, Enterprise and Chiefs, Enterprise and the old Chiefs, Chiefs in that old Gaming Gladiators roster. Even when Bliss was somewhat contested by teams like Man LFO, by that old wildcard team. And you look further and further back, you know, Knights, Wildcard, Chiefs, Order, Fnatic, Atletico.
Jinx.
Further and further back into the history books. I'm not sure we've ever had a period of OCE history where our top 2 teams are this tightly contested, going 15 rounds in every single map of the grand final. But Enterprise still have a chance to make this a 2-0. All they have to do is dig deep on this top floor defense.
Oh, it's 14. Is that 39, boys? Did I just hear 39 on the couch? 39 in the series for Jigsaw as he creeps closer towards that BO3 record. But the problem is, he needs all 3 maps. So in a way, he wants to lose this round. Of course, he doesn't care about that.
Jigsaw, look, if anyone was going to break the kill record from OCE, it'd be Jigsaw, I tell you that much. The Player this game has been giving him a run for his money. Player has eclipsed him on this map alone. 16 kills. While Relays was the hero in server. Last round for Chiefs. He will sit out the rest of this map. EP sitting back and waiting. It's up to Chiefs to make the next move.
Yeah, their sights will now be set on some of this util clearance. Last Rotero sent out into the castle, into the Azami. So some groundwork and impact's still up for Player as well. Double shield here is an interesting prospect, and it just keeps things intriguing for the final half of the round.
On a repel bomb site too. Shields are so much weaker.
That is true. Might have to pivot lobby, and we'll see that from Jay Kenner.
Wow, desperately looking for a wallbang with the pistol as well. The fight returned by Cairo. This repel angle has to bear fruit for Player, and it does. Down goes Brendo. Finished off. And Jekena will continue marching on forward into the 4v4, but he is now impeded by this castle barricade. It's going to be a long time to smack that barricade. 9 hits to destroy it, as Chiefs need to start forming up a plan for their eventual plant.
This makes things a little bit interesting for tempo now. And it's allowed Jigsaw to play down below. And in combination with Tuhan, who has a Nitro in pocket, this plant looks unlikely for Chiefs.
EP just need to be patient. They need to bide their time. But for Chiefs, the time to act is now. They've beaten EP twice before, but they need to do so here again on Bank as Jekena starts to force that plant down. Jigsaw is looking the wrong way. The plant will surely be confirmed. The C4 is far too late, but now it's retake time for EP. Neptune and Player into the post plant as they look to send us to Chalet. But Enterprise will bide their time on this retake. Cairo making the first move. But no shields up for EP, mean it's all up to gunfights. And Cairo looks to piece it together. Player goes down. Neptune now forced to 1v4 to save his team. And he is jumped out and punished. You can kick them down, but you cannot knock them out. The crown belongs to its rightful heir. And there is only one king in OCE. EP are champions once again.
Fair play to Enterprise. I cannot believe we even saw Bank in this best of 3, and to snap back with a 15-round victory for a 2-0 series dub. Super impressive. With that, it's additional SI points, James, and better seeding at EWC.
Straight into the group stage at the Esports World Cup for our champions of the Oceanic region. Enterprise are looking better than ever. They have fought hard through redemption from losing that upper bracket final to then, of course, take the crown, as I'm sure that they've got plenty to say down on the analyst desk.
Like a once great man said, with one hand, they grabbed the crown.
With the other,
a ticket.
A ticket.
Where to?
Esports World Cup?
Esports World Cup in Paris, baby.
Paris. What a series, bro.
Yeah,
8-7, 8-7. You know, it's one of those ones where you walk away from it clearly feeling for Chiefs, but at the same time, I did call Enterprise to win on Bank.
Tell you what, you've left me a nice little entrance point right there. Do you want to know why? Sir Bappin joins us.
Oh.
Sir Bappin,
Sir.
the great.
The knighted.
The biceps himself. Bappin.
Hey, mate.
How are you, buddy?
The guns are out.
Oh, yeah, we're good, mate. How are you?
Oh, mate, I'm living the bloody dream. I get to do this for a living. I can't ask for much more. But speaking of what you do for a living, you're going to be feeling pretty wrapped after that. I know you guys would always put yourselves on top of OCE right now, but that's going to be a good feeling.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I had a feeling we were just going to take it out anyway. It's like the last time, like previously when we fucking lost to Chiefs.
You get one. It's fine. You get one.
You're
like, we lost the Chiefs in the first upper final, and we beat them, and then we lost to them because we thought we had it. It's just what they've done. They won the upper bracket. They got comfortable. I guess it was close, but we swept it from them. So
congratulations, Bappin, on the win. I said on the broadcast the other day, well, whenever it was, the upper bracket final, I said the upper bracket final to me, it seemed like it meant more for Chiefs than it did for Enterprise. For them to go to an international event with that roster for the first time, something you guys have already done, that's not the prize on your mind. And that when the grand final is there, that's when you guys are going to get to your best level. Is that how the team sort of felt coming away from that upper bracket final?
Oh yeah, for sure. But there was no doubts going into the upper bracket final. Like we obviously were very confident, and they had their good day. But like the amount of prep we put in over the last 3 days or 2 days, however long it's been, we knew we were destined to win this for sure. Making an event for them is like that's their dream. They made their dream, so they're not gonna be fully locked in. You know, like I know when I made my first event, going into the grand final, like yeah, like you made the event. It's like that's good for all of them, but I had the confidence to sweep from them. So.
Pengu?
Nice. So kind of twofold question here. First off, Brendo mentioned earlier today in your first series, or after your first series, you guys have been working through some issues lately. It hasn't been the cleanest stage. You went to lower brackets, of course. What do you feel like is the current skill level for you guys? Do you feel like this is Chiefs overperforming, matching you 1-to-1 going to overtime? Are you guys slightly underperforming? What's the difference in level between you guys and Chief right now? Because you're both going to be representing OCE after you guys played Salt Lake City. You have 2 spots to go to international grounds at the EWC.
I think it's the playstyle clashes. Like obviously, our like very solo attack style, and they're just really weird rushes and stuff is like it doesn't work together, and they're obviously
weird.
Well, I mean, if they can rush people at an event, they're gonna get smashed. Like a bit of vodding is you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we had to take a step back and really rework our playstyle coming into this game, and it worked. It paid off. So yeah.
I mean, as much as obviously there's always going to be the trash talk, there's always going to be, you know, you guys are maybe the big brother, they're the little brother in this situation. It must be, though, overall better for you guys and the region, but mostly for you guys to have the competition be a little bit more even between you and another team in the region. You think about within the Oceanic region over the last 4 or 5 years, there's always been that one top team, and then there's never really quite that second team. Overall, it is probably a benefit for you guys as a roster that Chiefs do play to a relatively high level.
Yeah, obviously it's good, but I don't. You're not gonna get much improvement versing.
You can disagree.
I think you're not going to get much improvement versing teams that are just going to rush. It doesn't give us more than just a heartache, to be honest. Like, we are bound to beat any of these teams, in my opinion. Like, I don't know, you guys might have a different opinion, but I don't think they can go far. Like, it's not fun versing like teams like this. It's like Twisted Minds, you know, like they're not even making the event. Like, they lost the ML. These guys are playing like they're ratty, stupid cheese shit. So like.
Do you think that by going to the Esports World Cup, they'll come back a little bit more mature because of it?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I can say from my experience, my first event really, like, it took like another step of the game. You know, like I didn't think it was possible. And then players like Box, he's obviously pretty good. Jake is shit. But like, they can grow. So hopefully they move forward from like this stupid like rushing stuff, and they can actually become great competition like for us and the region. Respectfully. No, I don't mean that ill.
Respectfully, you can't.
No, yeah, of course.
You can't go and smack
just
the
shits
taste
on them.
out of their
Respectfully.
mouth and then go respectfully.
No. I'll defend Vapin here. I think that was very respectful because he has a good point to it, right? And the story that we respectfully had a good point. You know, they're probably gonna go international. They're gonna get smacked. That's very possible. And like Jake said earlier, the story for Chiefs are qualifying to the event. That's the victory. For you guys, with teams like CAG, for Weibo, qualifying isn't enough. That's the beginning. You guys want to go top 8. You guys want to go top 4. That's you guys' story. But because OCE is doing so well, you know, thanks to you guys, you have 2 spots, you're growing better and better players, there's more competition, and you must be proud of that fact, regardless of their playstyle.
Yeah, I think we're all like really happy like in the 2 spots, because like, I don't know, like, I'm not gonna lie, I think Chiefs will smash any second place team in Asia or whatever you want to call it.
Okay, big praise.
Yeah, I think that's pretty valid. Look, Bappin, obviously, we're stoked to have 2 representatives going to EWC, but I think everyone on the desk, everyone here knows full well that if we're going to get a result, we're going to get a result out of you boys. EP are going to push this as far as they can, and I think that everything you've done in this year has certainly proven that. So, first off, congratulations on being champions. Secondly, would you like to say anything before we close out? I know you've got a lot of family that watch these matches.
Obviously, shout out my mum. She's the best. You know what? Shout out Chris, bro, player. You're actually a nice guy, bro. You weren't a prick. And then shout out my team. I love my team. They're the best. Shout out EP. Sports crazy. See you soon in Paris, of course. We'll be there.
Bappin, thank you very much, mate.
Nice.
It's nice to see a bit of love being thrown either way. We'll catch up with you soon, mate. Take care.
See you guys.
All things end positive that start positive, and right now EP are bloody well positive. Jakey boy, it doesn't go 2 ways.
Yeah, and I mean, look, what a performance from Jigsaw. Just bringing it all back now to the series, to the game. 38-20. He probably would have gone on and broken the overall record if we hadn't got to a 3rd map. 10-4 on entry. Right, that's the big statistic. What's interesting as well, Nick, is Bappin, who we just had on there. He dropped 20 kills. He didn't get a single entry kill, and that is a big strength of his as well.
Yeah, I feel like for EP, we gotta have this new stat line, which is like the map MVP in a BO3 or BO5 series, because it's always going to be that one guy that stands out, okay? Obviously, we all know that it's going to be Jigsaw for the first map because he dropped a nuclear 25 kills. On the second map here of Bank, though, I kind of give a shout out to Cairo. I thought that once he got into the attack inside and he got in his shields and we kind of helped him with the pace and getting inside the building quickly and whatnot, it really got a lot of space for the other fraggers in the team to find their footing and take some gunfights from a strong position. And that's the funny thing about for me when I watch EP is that you never know who's going to be the main character. It often is Jigsaw, especially the last couple of days. But, you know, in Kickoff, it was always Tui. So there's always that one guy about a pop-up. It's the question of when and where.
But I think that's what you want, though, Nick, from the best teams. You want to actually have, firstly, the number one, the main star, the big guy. Then his follow-up. But you also need 3, 4, and 5 to also have the ability to be that map MVP. If it's just 1 and 2 and the rest aren't great, you're not going to do too much. And if there is no number 1 guy or number 2 guy and it's all everyone's kind of even, you lack that ability to have a 25 bomb from a Jigsaw, for example. So it's all about, and that's what I think makes Enterprise so good. Weibo are pretty similar. You think about the recipe of that roster, I think they're pretty similar. So coming out of APAC, it's no surprise over the last couple of years, they've been the 2 best teams.
I think a lot of it comes down to a strong foundation, right? You think of EP, you think Brendo. He's always that rock. He'll take up the dirty roles, the boring roles, and he'll always be there for a clutch late round. Think of Falcons. There's Breedy back on the BDS roster as well. FaZe, they have players like your Souls. You look at Speakeasy from, I was going to say Mind Freaks, that's the wrong name. Gaming. You always have that, you always have that really strong foundation. And when that works, you have like a base start line. And then you have your star players, your clutch moons, whatever afterwards. I think all the good teams across all the levels and regions of Siege, they have that same shared aspect to it.
Yeah, look, Falcons, FaZe, I mean, they're all on the same level.
You know, Jake,
Xenox,
Diddy, they're all pretty much within the same realm of greatness, I guess. But obviously, look, map MVPs are great, but we do need an MVP, and this can't go to anyone else. There's just no way.
I thought we already did the MVP segment.
No.
Oh, we haven't started yet?
No. Well, I mean, you guys just did. You guys pretty much capped it off pretty well. But I think everyone unanimously can say here for Jigsaw, especially after map 1. I mean, he got 25 kills yesterday in the sorry, not yesterday, but their last play day in their entire series, he only managed 24. So that just goes to kind of show the magnitude at which he played today, Jake.
He does have a tendency sometimes. This is when he's at his worst, is when he kind of gets a little bit into his baiting mode, where he's a little bit like later to enter the building, or he's taking gunfights after others have started. He's at his best when he's the entry, Nick, because you look at that opening map on Cafe, 8-0 on entry. So he's 8-0 entry, he then goes and gets 25 kills. So to get the most out of Jigsaw, don't get me wrong, it can be volatile, because if he has an off night and he's playing that way and he doesn't go 8-0 entry and maybe he goes like 3-5, he's probably not going to have the same level of impact. But if you want to get the very best out of him, the grand final kind of performance, or the performance needed to beat a big international team, he has to play that way. So the more often he does that, the better prepared he will be for those big international games.
Which he does tend to turn up in. But Nick, obviously, champions being champions, it's a phenomenal performance from EP. You still want to give a lot of loves to Chiefs, but what's your kind of final thoughts on the region as a whole so far, now that we've seen the entirety of Group 1?
Okay, so across all the 3 sub-regions of APL, I do think that OCE is probably the weakest when it comes to like what happens after the top 2. Okay, we very much have like, you know, your Chiefs, your EP, and then kind of everybody else. You be quiet now, Jake, okay? If you go to Asia, if you go to APAC North, I do think we have 3-4 teams that are actually up there, not too far from each other, and then we have the bottom. I like how Babin also said in the interview that he also recognized that they are a team of individuals, whereas Chiefs, they have this like, he called it weird rushes, ratty play style. I do think that Chiefs has a lot of emphasis on teamwork and coordination because they don't have that star player frag ability on every single member. But as always, APL super exciting.
Yeah,
super fun to watch. And we had some insane moments this day.
Actually, I don't think have you seen APL Man today?
No, I haven't actually.
No.
Where has APL Man been this entire day? I feel as though
last time we saw. Hang on.
Oh, guys.
No. Prod. See, everyone thinks we're the bad guys.
Switch it.
Everyone, wrong camera. Whoa. Everyone thinks we're the bad guys. We're part of the hashtag free APL Man. We stand with APL Man.
I had no idea that was happening. As soon as we're done, I'm going to go down there.
I stand with APL Man. I'm remote.
I'm going to free him. I will be the freer.
You'll personally go and free him.
I will personally go free. If he's still there, I don't know. They might get rid of him.
They might cut your mic off again as well. So just
check,
be careful.
Jake. Come on, go check.
Jake? Jake, well, unfortunately, as they cut Jake's mic off, we do have NAL coming up in, I believe, about 5 hours, and that's something that you won't want to miss. A little bit of action, a little bit of fun coming your way. This is the beauty of as we get to finals. There's so much to go through. There's so many regions that we need to run through before we get to EWC. But unfortunately, that is all we roughly have time for. You all right, Jake? What are you looking for? You lost your marbles.
Oh, it's over there. Never mind, that's too far.
Oh, yeah, unfortunately, that one might be a little bit too far.
I'll blame James on that.
Yeah, James kind of threw that to the other side of the room. But that is all we have time for here in the APL Finals. But don't worry, we are back tomorrow in, I think, 12 hours or so. Actually, less than 12. Yeah. We will be back very, very soon. Don't you worry about that. Asia has its final play day before EWC. Again, thank you very much for joining us. As per usual, please take care, stay safe. Jakey boy, good night. Good night.